Alrighty, it is Monday night, and you know what that means? Welcome back to Scales of Fate. Today we'll be playing the D&D. Quick shout out to our sponsors, your sponsors, and we love you. Check out all of their information in the description. We're not gonna go too much into detail of it.
Actually, I'm gonna go into some detail because I just got my custom set of dice from Sunspell Dice, and they are sick.
Oh,
they did this
nice.
sweet new effect where they put blue and clear and white kind of all together to make it look like ocean with gold flakes in it.
So good. They're so
I
pretty.
get lost in them.
Yeah, so mega shout out to Sunspell Dice. Thank you so much for partnering with us. And you can find their information on Instagram at Sunspell Dice. Super easy to remember.
Or website, sunspellsdice.com.
Yeah, perfect.
And you might have barely seen it in that shot, but we'll be posting like nice epic pictures.
Yes,
look
we will
at
post
that
social
later.
medias. Moving forward, brief recap of what happened last episode. We had a little bit of a time skip. You essentially had thwarted the attack on the city, saving it. The Abjurai had reinstated the paling around Drakehaven. And from there was a little bit of downtime. So Amara had given you a little bit more of a lore dump on what exactly has been going on in Levancia the past few centuries. And in this time skip, you guys were able to fulfill a lot of personal objectives that would take time outside of the fact that 12 episodes turn into 3 days in canon. And towards the end of it, the entirety of your group has come together inside of Steep in the Cups, the tea shop ran by Thalner and Tyro, and have since begun the conversation with Salvo herself in order for her to divulge information about her scientific R&D. She came up with a brilliant loophole in the NDA disclosure for her work to make you guys her laboratory subordinates. Therefore, you must be in the know of what exactly she has been up to. So, without much further ado, let's hop right back into that scene. You guys are all sitting in a quiet, low-lit Steep in the Cups, enjoying a cup of tea in front of you that Thalner has made for you guys especially. And Salvo had just gotten signatures from everyone, now making you apprentice scientists.
Putting that on my resume.
Technical designation, you are all apprentice scientists for research regarding Aether Rock and its trials.
Does that come with like a sweet acronym? How about a badge?
Yes, to be disclosed.
And a lab coat.
Absolutely.
So,
At your own expense.
Yeah.
Salvo, as you were telling the group with their final signatures on becoming your laboratory assistants,
Including Grand Mason Malachi.
including Grand Mason Malachi,
My mentor and
the
college
mentor has
professor.
now become the pupil.
And now, as associate research scientist, or ARS, continue.
I'll give a little backstory then on Aether Rock. It, to the common people, is known as one of the smallest bastion cities because it does have a paling, but it's a very small island, and typically the research is labeled as around protecting cities. Absolutely accurate. However, there were two main focuses of my research. The broader research was on the Orb of Dragonkind that you've now encountered.
That's my designation.
Absolutely. We had another one on the island, a blue one, which now I believe to be another piece of Tiamat. Its essence. So not a dragon.
Quite the-
whatever.
I don't know. As an official research scientist, I think I have to disagree with you.
As
So
your superior, I tell
pop the
you
collar on my
otherwise.
lab coat.
that you magically have.
Oh, I made him give it to me when I signed the paper.
Last I had seen, that was still on the island. I'll give you a little backstory on the orbs of Dragonkind. They were created to preserve Tiamat's aspects separately. They were created by the dwarves, which used to be the widest living species on Levancia, because of their protective homes inside the mountains.
And their wide stature.
They had come up with the plan to use the orbs like traps and performed what is called the Dragon Smoot, a pact between all dwarves clans to sacrifice their lives to separate Tiamat's aspects and capture them into the orbs. They were successful, but suffered many casualties. Dwarves are now, obviously, a bit more rare, as you don't see them as often as you would. So that's a little backstory on the orb. We were focusing on the orb itself and recreating its power. We had created a prototype that was very similar, but we had not gotten to test it in any way or really know of its effectiveness. That was where our research had gotten to when I left the island.
What would be the test?
Capturing an essence of a dragon.
How do you gotta like separate the essence from the body first, or you can just like chunk this thing and hit it in the head?
That's an excellent question.
I'll try both. I'll try the head thing first.
We do not know the exact implementation. We only know of the dragon's moot from our research into the dwarven histories.
Wait, you see something about like sacrificing yourself?
Does seem like a lot of death is involved to do what they did to Tiamat. Now, it may be less so for, say, not a god dragon.
Well, if they're not a god dragon, can we just like kill them the normal way?
Yeah, the normal way you kill dragons.
Yeah.
Which is
Punching.
Does that not work?
You find their...
You have killed a wormling, or participated in killing a wormling.
Yeah,
the
well, that-
smallest
that's a-
and
you know.
least dangerous form of dragon.
Still proof concept.
It is a proof of concept. You can kill a baby. Dragon.
So what you're saying is another essence of Tiamat was at your research facility that has now been broken into and destroyed by the chromatic spiral.
Not necessarily destroyed, and not necessarily the chromatic spiral. It was chromatic dragons attacking, at least from what I saw. However, whether or not that was the chromatic spiral, their boss's boss, dragons working on their own, I don't know. And as far as destruction goes, we just no longer have control of it. I don't know that it was destroyed.
And
I did see a large explosion happen, or what looked like a magical blast, but that only damaged part of the tower in the city. Not unlike when our paling fell here.
Now I'm assuming you guys had this thing like hidden and not like on a really special pedestal in the middle of your workshop or something.
You'd be correct. In fact, only certain people on the island even knew of its existence, myself included.
How did you hide it?
They attacked you for some reason. Like, that's a better question.
Labs deep within the building, protected by both magic and mechanical means.
So the chance is still there.
To stack up a brother.
In
What
the
is a
sense
brother?
that Malachi has created other automatons, yes.
is the prototype there? Or you think it could be?
Last known location was, yes, there.
It was functioning or not yet?
It could have functioned. We were not to the point of testing or even knowing fully how to test it.
Pokeball.
I think with that knowledge, it's safe to assume, though, that the chromatic dragons are fully intending to reassemble the orbs and bring about a new reign for Tiamat.
Evidence would point to that as well, yep. I am inclined to agree. Now, that said, any more questions regarding the orb? Because there was another main bit of my research that I'm more excited about.
Oh, yeah, you said that was the broad part of the research.
Yes.
I mean, where is this? Aether Rock is an island?
It is an island off the coast.
Okay. About how many days travel from here?
It's about
It's about on foot, a month and a half days travel. It is at the very
plus a ferry.
plus the ferry. It is off the very most southwestern coast of the continent. Horseback, you could probably get there in about a week.
Now, Where is this city? Like, are we landlocked, like in the middle of the continent? Are we close to like a northern coast and you can like sail down? Or
Do you have a full map of the continent?
So, fun fact is I was working on a map of the continent today and was unsuccessful in completing it, so I will...
Determined.
To be determined. But Drakehaven rests in the central southern side of the continent, meaning that Port Ghilean, the port city that is also protected by a bastion that provides a ferry to Aether Rock, is roughly in position from Drakehaven, very far southwest. Drakehaven itself rests near the highest peaks of the Cathod mountain range. The name coming from the ancient dwarves that had built cities within inside of those mountains.
So a month and a half. That's quite the travel. Week by horseback, you say?
Yeah, week by horseback, yes, roughly.
Remind me again, the desert with Shades Valley.
East.
East?
To the east of Drakehaven.
Okay.
About how many days travel was this desert?
Shades Valley, horseback, about 3 to 4 days. And then, by foot, probably about 2 weeks.
So the other direction of my research, this was the primary direction that I was going. While there were other people working on the orb, including myself, I specialized in a material called Dragosite. Known by the dwarves for a long time, now the effectiveness and the incidental side effects of it recently discovered by us. Dragosite acts like a battery for magic and essence. Being that dragons are essentially magic given life, it's particularly effective against them. Now, to a humanoid, it's a mineral that looks like a combination of like iron pyrite, a crystalline metallic substance. But
Any hues of purple, by chance? Just kidding.
actually, what color is Dragosite?
Not kidding.
Dragosite does not have hues of purple. It is essentially a alloy of combined mineral and metal. It's almost as if it's gemstone in and of itself. The appearance of it is a smoky, hazy silver, opaque in nature itself. But that's basically what it looks like.
Gotcha.
So,
It's so cool.
whenever Dragosite is inside of a body of a dragon, it severely weakens them by absorbing in part of their magical essence. It's you might say a exotic substance that makes someone weak when it's near them. Wink, wink. I'm sure there's a material that you can think of.
Leeches. Yeah.
Like leeches.
I don't like leeches.
Dude, Stack, I don't think you gotta worry about leeches, man.
What are leeches, though?
Neutralizes their superpowers.
Can you create it?
I cannot create it, but I do know where it was mined and discovered.
I can mine it.
What
The bane of
What did the dwarves use it for? They didn't use it for, like, dragon suppositories.
What did the dwarves use it for?
Give me a history check for the research on the dwarves of the Dragon's Moot.
I mean, they called it Dragosite for a reason.
Could I do a check as well just to see if I've ever seen it in the gem trading?
You may do so at advantage.
Okay.
Good question.
23.
23 for your history check on the
That's
research.
pretty good.
The dwarves had made weapons and armor out of Dragosite. Though it was more of an intuitive situation. It's dwarves, man. They find a special metal material and they make things out of it.
This is neat. We'll make stuff out of it.
And then they found that it was particularly effective whenever they were fighting on the front lines during the Dragon's Moot.
Gotcha.
The actual scientific breakdown of what it is, what it does, how it works, how effective it is, that was research that you had completed at Aether Rock.
So, in particular, I had created a few different uses. One that's a little more straightforward, but it's a tip for a ballista that is adamantine tipped with a core and backing of Dragosite. When fired from a high-powered ballista or potentially a very strong bow and able to penetrate a dragon's hide, will implant said Dragosite in the dragon, severely weakening them. My more exotic fun use, though, was a atomized dust grenade, might call it a smoke grenade, that used Dragosite, which created a relatively harmless cloud to humanoids, as long as you're not trying to use magic in it, but incredibly effective against dragons when inhaled.
That is indeed quite apt, my pupil.
Thank you.
Why didn't you use the ballista when the dragons attacked?
I wasn't there, and it hadn't been fully applied in wide use application. We were still in I had prototypes that worked, but it wasn't, in full development.
Leon, what did you get on your history check?
Oh, I got a 16.
16? With a 16, you do actually remember seeing formations of crystal not dissimilar to how Salvo has described it. You do know that when you have seen these formations, they were in the deepest of the mining tunnels of your hometown. So this was actually something for you guys, was recently discovered, and the reason why is that more or less the person who had found it had taken some of it to go sell and market and never returned.
I think I've seen what you're talking about before. It's very rare, but it does exist in my mountain. I think we should mine some of this stuff.
I do think it has a lot of potential, but we need to go to either your hometown or is Esmer near your hometown?
How many days travel would you say the mountain is?
2 weeks, right?
Esmer was a neighboring colony of miners, because more or less there was a ring of volcanic mountainous ranges. You had lived in the farther northern one. Esmer is a city not too far from your own, probably about a day and a half travel, that also had a inactive volcano. So you know where it is, and you know it's not far from your once existing home.
In fact, the first time I left Aether Rock after going there, it was to see this mining site at Esmer, and it was on my way back that everything went sideways.
Over the table real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a 2-week journey for me to get from my village to Drakehaven?
Yes.
Okay.
By foot?
And is that...
By foot.
You said north. Is it north compared to Drakehaven, or where is...
Your village also is north compared to Drakehaven, and Esmer is slightly closer to Drakehaven itself.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you guys knew about Dwarven Cave Village in the Mountains. That's really handy, because I'm glad I don't know anything about that.
Esmer's about
Give me
12,
a
13 days away.
Roscoe. Give me a deception check.
19?
Unless anyone opposes, including you, Jack. Checks out. Roscoe is.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that's lucky, guys. That's really lucky.
Sounds truthful. Sure. I never know what comes out of the small one's mouth.
I'd definitely say, it's okay, Roscoe. It's news to me, too.
Yeah.
Now, that said, there was a third implementation that was only in theory, but I think could be done, and that's ammunition. Same concept as the ballista, and it would just need to be penetrating. So most likely a rifle or a very, very large pistol round.
Wonder how it would react with magic.
Have you ever thought about just taking
spell focus?
Poorly. It will nerf your spells.
It
Sorry,
seems
Xeris.
that Salvo has been describing that this particular material absorbs magical energy.
Negates it. That's
You
how
could use it as
affects
a.
the dragons.
You could, say, forge a magic shield, potentially. That would be more effective against magic attacks. I could theorize it would be very expensive and very, very interesting to see, but doable. But no, as a spellcasting focus, you would be only handicapping yourself.
I'd be curious as to know if there would be a negative impact to you, Leon, around this substance. And
I would
know
like
you're
to
a
check
kobold,
that.
but I'm curious how it might react with your blood as well.
I don't. I mean, my blood doesn't necessarily give me any magical. Being a kobold doesn't give me magical dragon power necessarily. So
Just trying to make sure
I
your
should
soul
be
doesn't
fine.
get sucked up, you know.
I have
You talking about magical dragon power?
And think of it more as
I
a,
got some of that.
a battery or a vacuum more so than something that removes. It stores and
And can be
shifts.
released.
That is our second or third, whatever, fourth, some level of research I'd like to do is that I am interested in once magic is captured in it, how could you release it in a controlled, effective manner?
Like catch it in your shield and then launching it back at him.
One could say.
Now, you're thinking of all these really complicated designs. What if I just got a chunk of it and I like shoved it down the dragon's throat?
Absolutely effective, yes.
my first thought was someone holding it getting eaten. You know, it's kind of a
Have you?
practical
It
outcome.
does work, but you're down a person.
Or a goat.
You probably avoid that.
A sacrificial goat who ingested said Dracosite.
You guys, see, that's why you need us real smart assistants. is all these nerds, and yet you've got about ghosts.
Sometimes the simplest solution is the most elegant.
It's a dragon, though, not a T-Rex, so I don't know how interested they're going to be in just some random goat tied up somewhere.
Exactly. You don't know.
It could be a really juicy goat.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you ever made a
dragon's hungry.
human cannon before, Salvo?
Dude,
I'm going to regret asking this. What do you mean?
A cannon that can fire a 400-pound man
That's what I thought you.
high in the air.
or an 80-pound short guy.
Either or.
Have I? No. Could I? Yes.
What is going on?
I would recommend a mechanical device more so than a cannon. The acceleration upon your body would most likely liquefy your organs.
Well, I mean,
Like a
make us
trebuchet or
suit.
something.
A suit.
Yeah.
catapult.
That's more like it. Trebuchet, catapult, some sort of other mechanical launching device is going to be much more effective. Why do you want to be fired?
Got some spells for that too.
Because the dragons are way up there, man. I gotta punch it.
Well, I was thinking
Love the
I could be
enthusiasm.
the bullet.
A little bit of research I can give you.
Or the
ability
bullet
to
can
fly.
just be
Yeah,
the bullet.
just-
You don't gotta add layers to it. It worked just fine.
I like JJ's. Back to my point, yes, the bullet works great as a bullet.
The less lives we risk, the better.
All right. We know what to do.
Dude,
This is our destiny.
Are you sure about that?
We must mine this material. Then we must go to the desert to, is it Wygraph?
Wygroth, yeah.
Let's go to the desert to talk to this Wygroth, and then we must talk to the Brass Dragon in the Southwest Desert region.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself there, buddy. We got still some city business we gotta take care of.
Like what?
This Spiral Gang, man, I just found out they got a secret hideout in the caverns beneath this town. We can't just bail off and just leave them all here. There's like, the dragon's gone, but like,
what's your source?
spiral in the hand is worth two in the bush.
So, I made a good friend with some heavy hands, and he was telling me about some guys that are trying to recruit him for the Spiral Gang. They said if he ever changed his mind, to get in the caverns underneath the city.
We do have a ring and 3 masks at minimum.
I think we owe Malachi to clean out the city before we leave.
I'm not particularly worried about the city, thus, and you don't owe me anything.
We do
Hello.
for Paula.
Yes, we do. Let's go.
Any questions about Aether Rock or the research?
Nope, thank you for sharing, Salvo.
It feels nice to finally put some pieces together.
Again, to stress, you cannot discuss anything I told you with anyone outside of who's in this room.
It wasn't that interesting. No.
It's like the quiet game, but with less drinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really talk to that many people, except for at the
deception.
bar.
I believe.
My heart is filled with vigor.
What's vigor?
There's your
Is
heart.
that like alcohol?
It's and I just flex and
Adorable.
let's do this. Roscoe, lead the way.
All right, so we got 2 ways to get in the caverns. We can do it the bitch way and go outside the city and find some big caverns and all go spelunking and shit, or go straight through the river channels underneath the town.
To the river channels?
Been there once before.
You have?
No, I didn't. Retcon it.
Yeah, supposedly it was the most difficult yet fastest way is through the river channels.
So then one person went back.
I guess
So that's how they get in?
Oh shit, JJ.
Yeah, there's that one that got away in that battle by the creek.
Oh yes, the one that got away.
They probably showed.
I guess that would make sense why they have a water suit and boats in their warehouse.
Serena swimming in that sweet ass cloak.
Oh, there was also the attack on the boat.
Yeah, they move through the water. Probably should have put that together by now, but whatever.
Well,
Sneaky sewer bastards.
Should do we go on the easy way or the hard way?
I say option B.
Yeah, I mean, time's of the essence, right?
And we
should
have
go
the
fast
equipment.
way. Sure, yeah. One
Several
person that can breathe
boats.
underwater.
We have 4 boats, right?
2 boats.
2 boats.
Put on the cloak really fast.
How many
The cloak of the manta ray?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks dapper on you. It's a blackened leather that has a dark teal trim to it.
You know, just in case, it's water.
Your cloak looks near similar to mine, Roscoe. I like it. Fits you well.
Thank you.
He takes it off.
Stomps on it. How many people can fit on a boat? One of those boats. Is it single or
I believe it's
double?
up to 8 people.
Oh, okay.
So are we heading there now? To the river system?
Yeah, I mean, do we have? Are we just gonna get in the river and start swimming around? Do we have?
I mean,
a
I'd say,
heading?
against the flow?
Is this a common folding boat?
'Cause I was,
I would assume yes.
well, if they're caverns,
I'm only aware of one.
and they're under,
So 4 per
the
boat.
water flows, I'm assuming the water's flowing out and open. Okay. JJ, you've lived in this city for a long time.
Yeah.
Those open. No, yeah, I like JJ better. Those open channels in the city where the water's flowing. Do you see them go straight out to the ocean, or do they just kind of disappear under the town?
For the most part, in your memory, the river streams are fed by melting snow of the mountain range. There are 3 minor channels that all diverge into one greater one that flow through the city. They do both stream through the city and then dive into underground caverns where the water has over time eroded its own channels as gravity pulls it down and down further beneath the mountain. The streams themselves, when centralized into its final flow, create a very large river channel that spans through the middle of the swamp to the south. The river does eventually meet the ocean.
But you're saying that there's spots that have eroded down underneath into maybe some caverns. That's where I would say to go.
So hear me out. Maybe we start with the portion of the river that is directly between Warehouse 11 and the Bastille Caverns.
You have me at the word caverns.
And their warehouse bunker seems to make sense a little bit that perhaps that is an easy access point for them.
One way to find out.
At least it's somewhere to start. I mean, we can keep following the lead from there, but instead of just looking at the entire river and being like...
Nah, it's a great place to start. Let's go find some holes.
I like those.
Yeah, my man. Rock.
So, are we walking towards that spot now?
Okay. As you guys kind of finalize your plans, relaying to Malachi very obviously says,
Have fun.
as I was just recently moving through the caverns below the city, I would not like to return. Make sure to bring plenty of light if you cannot see in the darkness, and be on your toes. Creatures that dwell beneath the mountains, more often than not, are very dangerous and out for their own survival.
As we're walking, can I try and beast sense the whole time, just periodically, like every 30 seconds, I'm checking for either a bat or an owl.
Okay.
Owl on the outside, and then once we get into the underbelly system, bats.
Okay. Go ahead and flip your D2, please. Heads, it will be an owl. Tails.
What is heads?
This is
Green.
heads, and this is tails.
Yes. Heads, it'll be an owl. Tails, it will be a bat.
Yes!
Bat.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of heading in the direction where the junction of the three river-like streams form into one, at some point you guys walking along hear Leon squeaking. It's very odd. You turn around and you know it's his voice because there's a deep basal,
Squeakity squeak squeak squeakles.
not too dissimilar. There's a deep basal tone, but still a high-pitched sound escaping his lips. And you look over, and kind of fluttering around his head, this reddish auburn bat just kind of flitting about. And you see Leon takes a piece of food, a little berry out of his pocket, and the bat just kind of like takes it and then hangs up underneath his arm and starts nibbling on it.
Perfect. And I communicate with it. Stay with me. You will get protection and food, and you will be doing a great service. And I drill into its mind what a lovely master I will be to it.
You got more than berries on you.
I got a bunch more berries where that's coming.
These are juicy. These are real good berries. What you need from me then?
I need you to be
Speak plainly.
Need you to be my eyes in the night.
I can't see great.
That's a terrible vision.
Metaphorical eyes. I need you to echolocate from the top of my head, and I will beast sense into you and use your echolocation as my senses.
The last part makes more sense, still slightly confusing. Can't see.
I'll
How many more berries you got?
Look cocked bad.
I mean, how many berries do I have on me?
Roll a d6.
Okay. 4.
Okay, you've got 4 starberries.
I got 4 starberries, but I promise we'll forage for a lot more after this.
Sounds promising. Sounds promising. Tell you what, the missus is out. She's been exploring the city around here for a while. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Man knows the game.
Tapped in.
10.
10 was actually the DC.
Nice.
All right, yeah, that can help out. You got 4 hours. You got 4 berries. You got 4 hours. Consider this one just a down payment. All right. Where are we going again?
We're going
Sassy bad.
We're going underground, but don't worry, I'll keep you safe.
Oh, sure. Well, how far underground? I know the underground pretty well.
Have you seen a layer? Have you ever seen any people with hoods on it with a little spiral?
You guys just see. It's just like a bat hanging from his arm, and Stack goes, "What is he doing?"
Dude, I think you got parasites, man.
I'm still in beast sense mode, so I ignore the Roscoe remark.
Well, to be quite succinct, there's several aqueducts, several cavern-like structures. I know a bunch of short ones with beards used to mine down there a long time ago. It's quite deep. You can get lost down there. I've gotten lost a couple times, and I can see in there.
Bullshit, you can't see.
You said river leading down. Have you seen people recently going down in the caverns?
Yeah. See humanoids down there all the time, giving us stress, taking away our good eatings. Yeah.
Let's go where they go. That's where we need to go.
All right. Yeah, 4 berries. Maximum of 4 hours. I'll take. No, you hold on to them. I don't really have anything to carry them. Just supply them to me once an hour when I get hungry.
Yeah.
However, you specifically are looking for places where the humanoids are at, right?
Who's the master?
Yes.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I can take you.
He kind of lets go of both of his feet on your arms and flies up into the air. It gets kind of hard to see him after a minute, and you think that he might have disappeared, but then he flutters back and he's like, "Are y'all coming or what?"
Well, I kind of wanted to use you as... I wanted to beast sense into him. I'm able to see through the bats. So how do I explain that to him? I say, hey, you can sit on my forehead and...
So you basically say that, and he says,
Well, that's just downright confusing, as I can't see. But
just give me control of you for a little bit. You'll be safe.
what do I look like? Some sort of rat puppet?
I'll give you 50 berries when we get out of here.
Are you being honest?
I'm being honest.
Okay,
genuine.
give me a persuasion check. With advantage. 50 is a huge number.
I mean, being honest is something you don't have.
What is it?
That was a 1. And that is a 7.
7.
He says, I don't think you can get 50 berries, but I can put you in my debt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm trustworthy.
Yeah, we'll make a blood pact. How about that?
I poke with my nail into my thumb and create blood, and then hold my hand out.
He kind of like flutters around, and then like using the talons on his feet just kind of stabs into your hand some more.
Just the visual. Standing there.
Hey, who's that? What's happening here? The short one's attacking me.
Out holding Roscoe off.
Man, he's like trying to turn you, but
I'm working on it. We're gonna have he knows where to go.
He nimbly dodges your spittle projectile.
What? Doesn't he have to roll to hit?
He's my buddy. Stop. He knows,
Roll the
knows where
spin.
we're
This
going.
AC is pretty high. It's
I was
a,
about to say
I'm
it's hard to
proficient
hit.
at loogies.
roll a hit. Go ahead.
Probably can.
How dare you,
Is that
Roscoe?
proficiency modifier added to
I have
that?
no idea. There's a 6 on the die.
No, you miss him. He got a 19 on the die. Just barrel rolls out of the way of your spit projectile and says, "What's the deal with your friends then?"
I yell, I go, he knows where we need to go. He is my friend.
I'm gonna ritually cast.
Dude, I think there's
comprehend
poisonous
languages.
gases down here. He's fucking
It'll take a
lost
while,
it.
so I don't hear anything.
I'd imagine that Xeris, wanting to know what the hell is happening,
What?
started it at the beginning of the conversation,
So I'll still be.
and you're just now.
okay.
The ritual has completed, and you're just now hearing, "Well, fine then. If he just wants to spit on me, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help."
Roscoe, it seems that Leon's communicating with them. I can comprehend what they're saying. I can't speak bat though.
Pretty sure that bat's about to drink his blood, man.
We're doing a blood pact.
They're doing a blood pact. I also speak.
Don't feel any better about this.
It's weird.
It's not my blood pact, whatever.
Alright.
I'll do his thing.
What is your name, bat friend?
Carlock.
Carlock.
Carl.
Be my guide.
Ah, yeah, I can do that. 50 berries here in my debt. But oh boy, the missus will be proud. He basically attaches his feet to the bottom of your chin on some crystals that are kind of forming there,
crystal beer.
and is just like kind of hanging there as you continue walking.
I've never had those swinging there before.
I go, is it dark yet? Is it very dark?
It's yeah, it is very much nighttime. It's probably about like 1 or 2 a.m.
You can see in the dark, right?
Now with the goggles of night.
Okay. Whoever, I say, someone hold my hand if you can't see.
I'm following you just fine. But
I go like this to JJ's hand.
oh boy. All right.
So
can't see.
I'm just gonna climb up on his shoulders.
That's cool. I'm fine with that.
at some point, like through the
The
walking,
cavern. It's hitting the head. Right?
the bat kind of swings and just bites at one of your calves.
I was waiting for that.
He says, "Why is this one riding you like you're some sort of a pariah or something?"
He's a friend and he gets tired easily.
Yeah, that makes sense. This makes sense. He got short legs.
He's small.
I can't.
You can't comprehend any of that. You just hear yours. No, pretty short.
Hey!
Well, I was tempers. Short tempers. The chromatic spiral.
Whatever, I'm getting it right. I'm getting it.
You guys continue making your way through the city. Strangely enough, there have been a couple of passerbys of people wearing the garb of Justice of the Peace, but always escorted with at least one member of Eldritch Knights.
Nice.
And in this time, walking through, for the most part, they don't acknowledge you. But one of them, easily enough, you guys do recognize is Grant, the captain of the Eldritch Knights. And as you guys are walking through, Grant kind of holds up a fist and closes it, and the other Eldritch Knight with him, as well as the 3 Justice of the Peace, kind of stop their formation or their continued walking, and he separates from them, approaching the rest of you guys, looking at Leon very curiously for a second, like kind of doing a double take on your chin. The bat just kind of like wrestles its arm around itself and pretends to go to sleep. He goes, well, good to see you all walking about.
I immediately give like a very respectful like salute bow thing. That probably doesn't look like I know what I'm doing, but I'm very.
You had essentially copied it from seeing one of the Eldritch Knights doing it before, and he respectfully returns that salute to you. And
Excuse me, sir. We have done nothing wrong.
no, that's no.
This is totally legal. I'm not even walking.
Sure, no. There's no laws in being drunk in Drakehaven. I'm not stopping to reprimand you all for any reason.
That is odd.
Roscoe, this is the Eldritch Knight Grant, not the Justice of the Peace.
Correct. Nice to meet you. Roscoe, was it?
Is the
friend.
feds?
He's a friend.
There's the ones who are helping Paula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hence Zeus's overly respectful salute.
It's good to see you alive.
They're the ones who got us in.
They're all wearing badges to me, man.
He's in dark metallic armor, and it's really awesome.
I wish we could say that we've seen worse. But I'm glad to see the rest of your group alive and well as well. Whereabouts are you headed?
Just taking a stroll.
Okay.
I've had a busy couple of weeks and haven't had the chance to really catch back up as we were all taking care of some personal matters after the events that occurred, and decided to go sightseeing.
I'm taking my bat for a walk.
It's a lovely evening, sir. You should look at the stars.
I have an above the table question before I say what I might say. I know that they basically answered to Paula. Are they answering to like Amara right now? Like
Xeris himself is uncertain.
okay. And what is the last thing I knew that they were up to? Essentially, I want to ask if there's any development with the chromatic spiral. I just don't know if it's safe to ask that.
Sure. From what you understood, the last of what they were up to is they were working with a team of diviners to locate Cassius and Theo.
Okay. Any luck on locating? And I say it more hushily. There's a just of the peace. Yeah, I say it hushily. Theo or Cassius. If there's any findings on that.
Yes. We've got Theo in the holding cells next to this individual, Theon, and Cathus.
Thane.
Yes. Sorry. Theon. That's interesting.
That's a combination.
Yeah. To the individual Thane.
We haven't met Theon yet.
Yeah. Right. He's got a very gray face. He says they're in holding in the Grand Spire Citadel. We were unable to locate and find Cassius. It seems that he's given the city a slip, and to his credit, he was the illusionist prime within the Citadel. So
Yes, he was. And I try and like poke him to see if he's real.
Literally, honestly, him mentioning that too, do I trust that this is Grant?
you can give me an insight check. You go ahead and poke him.
Well,
Cold metal.
thing that is Cassius, am I okay to use Arcana for this check?
If you're trying to detect
like illusion.
magic subterfuge, yeah, that's fine.
While he's doing that, can I use my draconic intuition to see if it would be maybe a good idea to ask for assistance? Maybe they could spare an Eldritch Knight or two?
Okay. Hold that thought.
23.
23. The only magic that he seems to be permeating right now is more or less a version of mage armor. Mage armor itself denotes that you can't be wearing armor, but it's almost as if the armor is enchanted with this mage armor to give it a little bit more of defense. You don't detect any illusion.
Do I detect that I might be proficient with that type of armor? I'm just kidding.
Probably not, because you're a wizard and you're not proficient with any armor.
So heavy.
And then back to your draconic intuition. Go ahead. Well, this isn't a roll. You kind of, as you're talking with this group and Xeris is getting a little bit more information out of Grant himself, you kind of tap into like your literal gut feeling erupting from your solar plexus. At this rate, your gut is telling you that if you're trying to find a secretive hiding point for chromatic spiral, the worst thing that you can do is to continue to add bodies.
All right, well, my bat's getting pretty restless, so...
I
just taking a nap,
sleeping.
hanging out. Yeah, you guys just hear.
Oi, pony boy, let's go. Let's keep it moving. It's me slapping him on the head.
Leon, that's what you're feeling.
I reach out my hand to do my, or just a handshake with Grant. I say, "Good seeing you, but we gotta get on our way."
He nods and says, "Good seeing you as well."
Keep looking.
Ooh.
I kind of pat him on the shoulder as we're parting ways, and kind of just whisper to him, we're just running some errands and taking out some trash real quick if you know what I mean. And give him a little wink and nod, and
He gives you a very weak smile and nods, and then parts ways from you, kind of, all right, let's move out. Patrolling for the night. And they move on about their day. You guys are being essentially led to the Heaven's Garden. The bat takes you to the twin bridges intersecting the river splitting between the Heaven's Garden and says to Leon, yeah, fastest way I've ever found to get down to where you're asking about is through this river channel here. I typically just stay towards the top of the cavern ceilings, but as you know, the river goes pretty far deep into a large cistern-like pool, and more or less I've seen some folks flitting about down there.
The bat says it's this way, and I point towards the stream direction.
Roscoe, as Leon points, that is exactly where that braided red-headed woman had dove down into the river channel.
axe wielder.
Man, I think that goes to like an underground waterfall.
That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Yep, he did say that.
All right. If you guys see a red-haired, braided guy, he's behind.
Gal?
Gal.
Okay.
Person.
just checking.
I mean, he had long red hair.
So what are you guys doing for this river channel? You just see rushing water.
Will the boat fit under that pass?
You would
Like
assess that it would fit under that. You don't know how it would fare afterwards, but
Right.
yes, you would assess that.
What about that floaty disc thing you got? What happens when that goes off of the drop? Like
How
last
deep
time?
is the water?
You are uncertain. It is very dark, and you have never touched the bottom of this river channel through the mountain.
Well, it doesn't float above water necessarily.
Does it have like
That was thanks to a small plot hole.
a falling speed limiter or something?
No.
So it's pointless.
But bear with me one moment, and I will tell you more.
I asked the bat, we were gonna take 2 boats down this. Do you think we'd be okay?
Depends on what you mean by okay. The boat's maybe not made of wood and all that. There's a lot of rocks. You guys, if you can take a couple hits and know how to navigate treacherous waters, yeah, you should be fine.
I'm completely screwed. No, I'm kidding. 10 feet. So I don't know how to tell if it's deep enough. Well, give me about 10 minutes.
He starts working on a spell. You've seen him do this a couple times, gathering some materials, trying to take an elongated version of casting a spell for a ritual, but eventually Xeris does produce a floating disc.
Well, there's got to be some way they got down there regularly.
Do you
I
have
guess they
the
didn't see
cloak?
this with this. This was the sketchy way.
It's definitely there's a way outside. I mean,
Wouldn't they get noticed going in and out of the city constantly?
you got like a secret
Not if the
gate.
justice of the peace is on your bankroll.
Good point.
I mean,
There are a lot of people.
I'll go down first, and then the bat can relay if I'm broken.
Are you wearing the cloak?
Yeah.
I'll go
that.
with you.
I'll go as well.
Well, we
Stack.
need you to tell us
The
what
problem
that
I've
says.
got with you going like before I know what's going on
so
is
the bat's
although
gonna go
I'm
with
sure
him?
you'll be an
That's what
injured.
you were saying.
You don't swim too great.
No, I don't.
No. So like I kind of want to know how deep of a pool you're gonna drop into before I know that you can walk out of it.
But how will you tell me if you go first?
The bat will see.
He'll fly back.
Also, your swimming speed will be 60 feet.
Yeah. But I don't think I can swim like
We
a
swim
waterfall.
up a waterfall.
Very slowly.
Waterfall's it. Oh, Roscoe would know that. Fast.
If you were to go first to do reconnaissance, how will we know? You may send the bat, but how will we know what the bat is saying? I've only heard squeaks.
I could try out.
I can speak to the bat stack. I can speak to all animals.
Oh,
Only one at a time, though.
that's interesting.
Right.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to try out my new fancy duds.
Yeah, show
Before
us.
that happens, I walk across the other side of the river to see if my disc will stay floating.
Over the water surface. So it follows you basically indefinitely. You can't really tell it to stay.
Well, the way it works is like it will only move when I get out of range, so it follows, and it can't drop further than 10 feet. It'll
Logistically, you would have to cross the river because there are 2 bridges that go over the river. The disc will follow you over those bridges. If you're trying to experiment on whether or not the disc will flow over water, you would have to cross the river itself.
How wide is the river?
It's about 24, 25 feet across.
Well, you probably couldn't be
How
thrown.
wide's the bridge?
The bridges span across it.
I'm sorry, you said 20 some feet?
Yeah, about roughly 20. The river itself is about roughly 25 feet across.
Okay.
And the disc follows you.
After how many
and-
feet?
30 feet. So I should be able to
So-
see if it floats over the
It
water.
follows you after 30 feet.
I'm pretty sure.
I think the way that it works is that it just
20.
follows you.
Within 20 feet of it. If you move more than 20 feet away, it follows you so that it remains within 20 feet of you.
Okay, so how that would work, more or less,
guess I
for
can cut the corner
expediencies.
right.
Yeah, if you cut the corner right for expediency purposes, the disc basically does fan out over the top of the river channel and then plunks down into the water and disappears.
Okay. Yep, so that won't work. I begin recasting my comprehend languages to hold that up for now.
Okay.
All right. It's my time to shine.
I tell the bat to follow Roscoe and let me know
Non-existent.
how he does. Come back if he's in trouble.
Do you have anything on you, like a bauble?
and I toss
like
a
small
berry.
thing, like jewelry?
Take a grappling hook.
And do what with it?
Have it?
I mean, yeah, I got it.
Okay, but do you have anything small, like a piece of jewelry?
Yeah, I mean, I got my armbands. I probably got a gold ring or 2. I got gold earrings.
Gold rings? You have a ring?
Yeah.
Can I do magical tinkering on his ring since it's tiny to make it light up?
Yes.
Bonk.
Whoa.
Now you have a,
shiny
now you have a
glowing
light
ring.
ring.
Yeah,
a mood
that
ring.
bling.
It's a mood ring.
Bright light for 5 feet, dim light for another 5, so you have like a 20 foot across.
Thank you, Salvo.
Where you can at least see a little bit in the dark.
I see why people say you're useful.
But you can also like cover it to hide it if you get sketched.
Was it Kartok? Yeah. Kartok basically mentions you. Well, I'm not
Karlok.
Karlok. Karlok says to you, I'm not following him into the water, but I'll make sure they come out the other side, okay? That'll work.
Yeah, you don't have to swim. Just fly slightly above.
Yeah, that's what I planned on, but yeah, I'll do that.
Does the bat
you.
understand common?
I'm speaking through beast sense, which is like.
But does
But
it?
he's like,
Okay.
Salvo's asking Leon.
Oh, I can try. You can try, and I'll ask him if he understood it.
Do you understand me, bat?
You hear a squeak, and you just hear, why is this one looking at me funny?
He's trying to talk to you, but obviously he doesn't know your language, or she doesn't know your language.
All right, well, tell her, hello? How do you do?
The bat says, "How do you do?"
Well, thank you. Task accomplished.
I think it's
When you get down there to say that you're safe, make this
squeak,
sound.
squeak.
And
What
then-
the fuck did he just say to me? My mother?
He's going to attempt to speak your language. He doesn't know what he just said.
Oh. Ah, yeah.
He's going to say something of that accord, or he's going to say something like that when.
Just tell him if my head's not
somebody.
smashed open, then it's all good.
If he's alive, then we shall go. So, let us know if he stays alive.
All right, well, you've only got about 3 hours left and about 49 more berries, so let's do it.
Before he finishes, I'm sprinting.
There he goes. He detaches from you. You dive into the water. As you plunge into this water, it is frigid. Very, very cold. Your body feels like it's tensing up and curling into itself. And in this darkness, through the light permeating on the ring on your finger, you only see shadow-like silhouettes of rocks. I need you to give me a series of dexterity saving throws.
I do have super swim speed, if that helps.
You do. I will say that this swim speed will decrease the DC for these dexterity saving throws. But the focus here is that it's very dark, it's very cold, and you're
Decrease
not
to
certain where you're going other than the direction of the flow of water.
Ooh, first roll with my new dice, and I rolled a 19.
Okay.
So that's a 25 dex save.
Curving your body, narrowly avoiding a spike of rock towards the bottom of this, you continue floating down. You feel yourself arcing and moving with pressure from behind you. Thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons of water are now propelling you downwards. Give me another dexterity saving throws.
19.
Okay. More or less at this point, you're starting to feel the shift of the flow of this water, going with it rather than fighting it. You avoid many obstacles of jagged rock jutting out from the bed of this, and for a brief moment, you feel partially weightless, and now you can taste air again. And you look around you, and all you can see within this 10-foot radius of light is water spewing and spraying all around you, and what seems vast and echoing of a chamber below it. Give me
Oh shit, I think I'm falling.
You just hear squeaking around. You're like, give me your last dexterity saving throw, please.
13. No. 15.
15? You just narrowly, using the pressure of the water with your legs, essentially pushing you and propelling you forward, you separate yourself from this flow of water heading down, and as you plunk into the taut surface tension of the water in a pool below you, you resurface and turn around, and you see that there was just nothing but jagged rocks beneath where that water was spilling down into. And the bat just kind of flitters above your head like...
Oi, oi, tell them this shit's fucked down here. They better watch it.
lands on your head, flaps, 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 flaps.
Oi!
Just kind of like folds up its wings a little bit and rests on your head as you bob in the water.
Go back.
There's this brief, like, confused look on it, and then it like squints a little bit from that flapping motion you just made and just flies back up through the waterfall cavern. You lose sight of it not long after it flies away. It is pitch black in here. The waters are pitch black. The only light that you can see is a strange webbing of mild, pale green glowing far off in the distance around you.
And your ring.
And that. Not too long afterwards, you guys see the bat fly up from outside of this river channel and kind of just land on Leon's chin. And he's like, "Hey, your friend's pretty good at falling.
He's a nimble one.
Saw him do a crazy bicycle flip or something.
Tends to do that.
Hey, what was I coming back here for?
Well, you told me that he's okay. He's alive.
Hey, he's fine.
Did he? Where did he land? How did that look?
He's in the large underground cistern of water just below.
Sounds safe.
Is there anything we should know about how we should go down there?
Swim good? I don't know. Fly? That's how I did it.
So
I'm not the best with creative solutions. This has always said that.
Thank you, Bat Boy. Batman.
how many jagged spikes are we talking about at the bottom of this waterfall? Like
It looks like
shit
this
ton, or
this waterfall was the landing place of this water a long time ago, and due to how the geographical location has been containing this water, these spikes have formed because it has been water consistently eroding the rock that it hits and then pooling and breaking apart more pieces of silt and sand. Pretty damn jagged. As you swim closer to it to get a better look on it, kind of pulling yourself up into a non-swimming position on these jagged rocks, landing on one of these would be nearly fatal.
is there any place I can see it maybe on the walls behind it, but where the front? So I've got a fishing net.
Okay.
Is there any way I could try and with my batons position a net over this?
Give me a survival check.
While he does that, would the bat be able to carry the manta cloak, or is that too much weight?
You were uncertain of the airspeed velocity of an unladen bat.
Also, probably not.
I would say your draconic intuition says probably not.
Okay.
So right now we think it's safe. Just saying, based on this information,
Yeah.
we think it's safe.
Yeah,
So based on that, I would say, all right, let's load up the boat.
Oh man.
Now, all this being said, kind of like my advice to Roscoe about the grappling hook, and not knowing exactly what that looked like, Xeris does have a failsafe in mind.
Okay, sure. Gotcha. You guys fold out two boats. What's up, Roscoe?
Sorry, no, continue with it. I got an 11 on my net.
On her net. You kind of position it in between a 3 points of contact set of spikes. It's kind of slippy. It's not a very well-made knot, but you imagine if anyone were to land here, the trajectory is nearly directly underneath the water. It should help. That's what you think.
I'll take it.
I would help with the first boat. I'd let the bat know, fly down there, and wait for us.
Yeah, sure thing. Flies off.
All right, I step into the boat and say, "Who wants to be on the boat with me?"
Me.
Ladies first.
You guys all hopping into boats?
Yeah.
How many? So there's 5 of us plus Stack, so 6.
So 3 and 3.
Okay.
You mean Stack in the next one?
Sure.
Alright.
As good as any.
Adventure.
Stack gets in the boats like.
It is kind of leaning. It's
creaky.
You guys hop into these boats. The first squadron goes. The second squadron goes. For this first squadron, as you are moving through this diving waterfall-like stream, the ceiling of the cavern overhead is very tall, so you intuitively duck your head down and are kind of just gripping on the sides of these boats. So people of boat 1, give me a dexterity saving throw with advantage being on a boat.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see what the other one is.
Take that.
23.
21.
Pass.
16?
16 pass. You guys, yeah, more or less just avoiding stalactites spiking through the ceiling, just allowing the boat to take itself through this vessel of water. We will freeze frame you from dropping through this waterfall yet again in this campaign.
Quick question while I'm freeze framed falling in the waterfall again. How does the boat expand or retract? Like, is it like a command or?
It's magic, it's not necessarily a command. It wants to go back into its box, and when the box is opened, it can't help but to extend itself.
And how does it get back into?
You have to manually fold it as
tenfold.
prior described.
Tenfold.
So, team second boat, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
Have we made it to the bottom of the water slide yet? We can't go.
Dude,
I'm genuinely though. I imagine we would provide probably a couple, like a minute break probably between them, so we don't.
what'd you get?
16.
16 for Thauner, 18 for JJ. Believe it or not, Stack with a -2 got a 16.
Let's go.
Stacked.
It's like he kind of held the weight like anchor on the back of this boat, and you guys as well plunge out the other side. At this time, the first boat hits that kind of lean-to net that you had made, ripping that net apart, and it kind of just bounces off and lands in the water. The three of you in the first boat are still in said boat. The next boat gets caught on its bow by a spike of rock, slingshots itself around, and you guys all splay out from the boat, including Stack, and essentially hit this pool of water, and the boat itself is destroyed. From here, the rest of you guys hear a strange bubbling sound. Roscoe, you're kind of taking a look, notice that the cavern was only like drops of water here and there. There's a strange bubbling sound occurring. You see a group of your friends riding along this boat. You see this other boat essentially getting torn up, and as it does, it begins folding on itself, but compacting in a way that it can't get back into its regular form of the box and just disintegrates more or less. The rest of them spilling over into the side and landing in the water with a splash. The bubbling is rising from where Thauner, Jack, and Stack had hit the water. And as Stack had hit the water, you just see 3 glowing orbs sinking and sinking and sinking.
I dive in and start swimming down after.
You dive in and start swimming down, and from the glow of your ring and the glow of Stack's face, you see a 7-eyed creature with tentacles lashing its body all around in the water, and a large jaw opens and then unhinges and goes to swallow you. Everyone roll initiative.
Wow.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Jessica.
Sarah was going to cast web to save that boat.
Yes.
Boo.
Ooh, net 20.
Nat 20. Okay,
On
so
initiative.
really quick. Initiative technically is considered a skill check. We're going to change how inspiration works for this campaign. Prior, I was giving it out as on a whim. The new 1 D&D edition that will be coming out has an Unearthed Arcana of when you roll a natural 20, you gain inspiration.
Ooh.
So, that is what we will be implementing into the campaign. The second half of that is that nat 20s on skill checks are automatic successes. I will not adopt that. However, because you rolled a natural 20, and we are adapting that rule, you gain inspiration. And for future reference, to make myself clear, I no longer will give you inspiration. You will gain it from natural 20s.
You are going to get inspiration.
Okay, so
Gives you advantage and a chance to roll another 20 to get
precisely.
inspiration. To get
Precisely.
inspiration.
It seems very helpful for the narrative flow of the game. So, with that being said, I have the creatures initiative. I have Stack's initiative. 20 to 25.
22.
Xeris with a 22. Anyone else? 20 to 25? No? 15 to 20.
18.
I also have 18.
What's your dex? Plus 5 dex. What's your dex?
4.
So JJ will go ahead of you on that matter. And then 10 to 15.
10.
Salvo with a 10. Oh no.
Team
5 to 10.
8.
8. Oh no. You guys said what? 9? Okay.
Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be 8.
Could be the one that the monster got.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, with that being said, Xeris, you will helm the top of this round. You are in a boat, and you see the lights of Stack sink.
gosh.
Roscoe rapidly. Go ahead, honey. What's up?
Are we going to take a break before or after combat?
I was gonna get to that point, but yes, we're gonna take it before.
Okay, because if after.
No, that's okay. I got you. So, with Xeris is going to be taking the helm on the lead of this initiative. You see Stack sinking rapidly into the water. Roscoe, wasting no time, a dull glow around his fist, dives into the water after Stack, and not long you see strange tendrils in the water overlapping and making shadows from that light. From here, that is where we're going to go on break.
That's why you yell out, Stack! Roscoe!
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching us as we've been playing so far today. We're going to take a brief 15-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to get into this terrifying underwater combat that Jessica absolutely hates, and I'm sorry. What are you doing? Don't stop. Stop. No.
Don't stop.
No, actually stop that. Okay, thank you guys so much. We'll see you here in about 15 minutes. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to Scales of Fate. We had just left off on the crew more or less falling out another waterfall into a large cistern-like pool of water in a cavern. And let me just finish up getting this initiative on the board real quick.
All the waterfalls.
This is a tentacle with a gaping maw on a treasure chest, like last time we fell out of a waterfall, right?
So we should
Probably
probably
rename them Slaughter Falls.
we should probably say who has
Can't spell slaughter without laughter.
the items
Yeah, let's
that
do
we
it.
got last episode.
Oh,
so-
yeah, you guys haven't actually divvied that up yet.
Do it. Go.
Okay,
So
so,
I got the Cloak of the Manta Ray.
yep,
Perfect.
yep.
Also taking the Bag of Holding.
Checks out.
Forgot too much stuff.
Goggles of Night to me. Boat's party. One boat's dead. Beads of Force.
What are the beads of? I'll
You
take it.
throw them and they do like a kind of explosion, but then also trap things.
But it's like a bubble of. I wonder if they would float up from the bottom.
We all float.
I think that would be better for a utility character to have.
Or more for someone who doesn't have utility.
Okay.
Well, it's also damage.
Can we split them up?
There's 4 of them. I don't see why not.
I'll have one of them, and Roscoe can
I'll
have
take one.
one, and then JJ maybe 2.
Sure.
Yeah,
Alright.
You aim and stuff.
All right, add that to your inventory.
You have a, you
I
have
also-
a sling.
I do have a sling.
You can sling
One,
it at
one.
extended range.
So you 4?
Yeah, that's 4.
Technically,
That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll take
have
one.
a bead.
And then
I got
have,
magic. I'm good.
I have the ring of swimming.
Okay. So, from here, I believe that divvies up the loot.
I have the intelligence stone.
Yes, I did.
From ages
Okay, and
ago.
you grab that Azurite Intelligence Stone. Okay.
during
Did
the
you
2
attune
weeks.
to it?
Sure.
It was during the 2 weeks
Okay.
when I stopped by the tea shop.
Heard. Perfect. Okay, so in that case, Thauner, you can add a +1 to your intelligence modifier.
Is there an actual
You can-
item for that in
Yeah.
D&D Beyond, or do I need to manually add the modifier?
I think manually
Might
add the
be an item.
modifier.
For now, and you can pull it in later.
What? You said bead of force?
Yes,
of force, yep.
That is a canon thing in this
Yeah.
game.
I would argue that the 2 potions of healing minor go to JJ since he's the doctor, and then the greater potion of healing goes to the squishy wizard. Anyone disagree?
I can find it.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I think that makes sense.
Hey, Xeris, you're gonna take the greater potion of healing since you're the squishiest,
Okay.
It's
And then-
44 + 4.
and then the 2 minor potions of healing will go to our doctor friend since if he's down, we'll just loot his body, but yeah. Otherwise, he's gonna be the best to apply them.
Speaking of, we are going to play this combat Theater of the Mind. Xeris, as previously mentioned, you see the lights of Stack's face sinking down to the bottom of this water. Roscoe rapidly chasing after him, and several tendrils of aquatic creature-like limbs are beginning to form shadows where you can see into the water. You are first up in initiative, my friend. What would you like to do here, standing on the boat?
Aside from yelling out what's going on to everyone
Okay.
who may not be noticing that
We're
Stack.
under attack.
Stack is sinking and there's a kraken. And
Oh, you don't want it to be a kraken.
okay,
I promise you that.
a baby kraken, a kraken wormling,
Not a kraken.
not a kraken.
If it was a kraken, this is a TPK.
Noah!
I'm just saying.
I guess identify on the kraken. No, I'm just kidding.
Is it kraken?
What's kraken? All right. So anyways, I'm going to. I'm gonna cast magic missile.
Magic missile? Okay, on the creature in the water?
Yes.
Okay. You cast it, go ahead and roll your damage.
So sending out those 3 missiles, they're gonna kind of go in the water around Stack and Roscoe, swimming towards Stack.
Gotcha.
Use my new D4. I love the D4s.
Those are
ones smell
pretty.
nice.
Yeah.
They're the little obelisk style. All right, first one's 4. Do I roll for each? I do, right?
It's the number. Yeah, you roll for each. It's the number plus 1.
4, 2, and 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 7, 10. 10 total damage.
10 damage to the creature as these purple arcane-like missiles streak through the air. Takes 10 damage. They kind of burst in a phosphorescent like light as it hits the creature, and you can see that this creature, at the minimum, with you being able to discern things very quickly, especially numerical, you see that it has roughly 12 tentacles. Reaching out from its body and trying to grab onto Stack and Roscoe in the water.
I'll shoot at, I guess, a couple tendrils that are in the middle of grabbing.
Yeah. I'll say that. Do you have a bonus action or movement speed that you want to take on the boat itself?
Is there land near, like, right here?
You have dark vision, and even with that, the only land that you see is the jettisoned, spiky rock mass that this cavernous waterfall is spilling onto. You don't see land, walkable land in your near vicinity.
Then I will remain in the boat.
Okay. From there, it is this creature's turn. So, for its first attack, Stack was the first one in the water, so it will try to, with a 14, does not hit Stack's AC. It kind of like wraps a tentacle around Stack, and then Stack just continues sinking through it. Its next tentacle is going to try to wrap around Roscoe. And I assume that a 10 does not hit your AC.
No way.
Okay. In its frustration and noticing that you are more squishy organic matter, it's going to try to get you again. 19 hit your AC.
That does hit unless I get some. No, I don't get a swim bonus. For that.
Okay.
Yes.
You will take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as this tendril wraps around you and begins constricting. Go ahead and give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check to escape the grapple that will follow this attack.
8 damage. We're gonna do an acrobatics.
Sure.
Is it 19 acrobatics?
It rolled a dirty 20 on its athletics check. So you are considered grappled under the water right now. Additionally, you wearing the cloak of the manta ray, you don't need to breathe in the water, if I'm not mistaken.
You can breathe in the water.
You can breathe underwater. You feel all of the air escape your lungs, and you take a breath, and it feels like a strange osmosis-like sensation as water enters your lungs, and then as you exhale, it is expelled and oxygen reaches your brain.
Unfortunately, I need to be up front although might be breathing, I am freaking out.
Okay.
When that happens. For sure, 100%.
So, Roscoe, you are panicking right now.
I do have an advantage against being frightened. I don't know how you're going to use that with this.
Perfect. I love that. Go ahead and give me a frighten check, like a roll at advantage.
Charisma saving throw?
Yeah, charisma saving throw makes sense, actually.
That was a 3 on the die. That was a 19 on the die. That's a 21. Ooh.
21. Okay, you are still in a panic state of mind, but because you breathed in and the water entering your lungs has still supplied oxygen and you don't feel this typical drowning sensation that you are actually afraid of, you find a sense of steeled assurance that you are handling this situation.
Plus stack.
You gotta get stacked.
Yeah, I have
And you see him still sinking. In this moment, the creature, having you grappled, begins to sink itself. It has grabbed onto you and is now sinking further into the water, and it is roughly about 30 feet below the surface. From here, we have JJ. You, as well, are in the water, and more or less, even with the lack of dark vision, you can see that there are some lights muddied underneath the surface of this water, and you see Stack getting sunk. You see Roscoe kind of like bound together, the light on his ring kind of showing you where he is, and you see him getting pulled further down.
Okay. So normally, I would say guns don't work in the water. However, this is magical bullets with a slightly magical gun.
I cast POW.
Cast bang bang. Actually, just one bang until level 5. But
Okay.
okay. Would shooting the tentacle help Roscoe at all? I mean, that's my gut.
Yeah, your intuition is telling you yes.
Okay, that is a. I can't math. 23.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Cool.
Pew pew, magic gun. Is this the rifle that I infused this morning?
This
Yes.
is. Thank you.
Oh. And I'm like, oh.
From the boat.
Yeah, it's
16 damage.
16 damage?
16 damage.
Oh, man, dude. Okay.
I like it very much. You added the
For
one. Right?
flavor, do
Yes.
magical bullets act like tracers where you can see them?
I'll say yes. You do see a blip in a microsecond of a streak of light hammering itself into a tentacle that you are being wrapped in. And for mechanical purposes, you are grappled. You'll have advantage against fighting this on your turn.
Nice.
Bonus action, staying on the boat with your movement speed. What are you doing?
He's off the boat, I think, right?
Oh, in the water. My apologies. Yeah, you are treading water right now.
Yeah, I dipped under a little bit to get a better shot. I would probably swim over it. So if it kept going deeper, I would still be close enough to.
Okay. Just barely with your movement speed, you get not directly above it, but it is below you in the water now.
Okay.
Roscoe, it is your up in this turn. Stack's following you. You are currently grappled. Before you can do anything else on your turn, I need you to try to escape this grapple. You may use acrobatics or athletics, and because of the shot on the tentacle that's holding you, you have advantage.
Acrobatics. $24.
It roll another dirty 20. You succeed. So as this bullet rips through the water, splattering black inky blood in front of you, you take that opportunity and kind of just like bite down into the tentacle, and it loosens up around you, and you twist around. You are free from the grapple, which means you do have your turn here.
Oh, nice. Okay. How far am I away from like its head? I don't know how long.
Less than 10 feet.
All right, I want to swim down and use elemental. Just trying to punch this thing right in the eye.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
14?
14 barely hits.
Ooh. I am going to do electric strike.
Okay, using an electric fist to punch him. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage. This is considered a critical.
Oh, let's go.
It's super effective.
So we're doing criticals by I rolled it twice.
Double dice.
Double dice.
Yep.
And one add-on. That's a 7 damage
Okay.
to the eye.
It takes 7 points of damage, and you take 3 points of damage. As you swing forward, electricity arcing from your fist, you connect into one of its eyes. There's an underwater, like shrill shrieking, and as you connect, a conduit of energy wraps around you and shocks you as well.
Only the fists
Still
are
have got
resistant.
because I've got 60 movement speed swimming. I've used 10.
You've used 10, yes.
I'm going to. How far away do I have to get from something to enact an attack of opportunity when we're talking about a creature this
5
big?
feet.
5 feet. So if you're trying to get away from it, you will incur an attack of opportunity.
What if I'm like staying within 5 feet, but I'm going to like swimming along to the back of the head?
Then you're
or
fine.
Something? Okay. Well, then I'm going to use my monk strike to do a second. I'm now going to try and kick it in the eye.
Sure, go for
This
it.
time I'm going to try cold
Okay, go for it.
because I don't want to keep getting hurt, even though I know that word.
I gotcha.
Oh, that's the wrong.
Nobody likes getting shocked. Well,
That's a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your dammy. Roll that dammy.
That is 7 points.
7 points of damage. Wow, of cold damage.
Yeah.
It's not a critical, and the electricity flares off of your fist. You take a little bit of recoil. You kind of swim over to the other side of it in the water as it's flailing about, and then slam back down or kick back down on the back of its head with your heel. Your foot encrusted in a icen barrier. It hits the creature. Some ice flares up and then immediately melts. And it doesn't like that. It's very upset and angry.
So I've got quite a lot of movement speed. I'm gonna try and get stay within 5 feet, as far away to the opposite side of like its beak mouth thing as possible.
You're basically below it now.
Yeah.
And then that is your turn. Following turn is Stack, who is sinking and continues to sink. And now it's Salvo's turn.
Nailed it. Okay, how far line of sight wise am I?
From your position on the boat, roughly 25 feet.
Okay. Then, is that diagonally or am I directly above?
Diagonally.
Could I move the boat enough to then jump in to be able to get to them?
There are paddles on this boat, and let's say that this is an interaction with object, a free use on your turn. You can get the boat, like, pushing the oars a couple times, moves it about 10 foot closer.
And I'd argue that I could dive
Yes.
too to give me a little bump in
Absolutely.
velocity.
Yes.
Point is, I'm trying to engage distance from it.
You with having moved the boat and then diving in and then using your movement speed, you can get into touch distance from one of the tentacles of this creature.
And I shocking grasp.
Thank you. All right. Shocking grasp was a roll to hit, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a 10.
10 misses. As you kind of feel your hand clasp around the rubbery, clammy skin of this creature, it just slips out of your hand as the electricity sparks. It doesn't deal any damage to you in this current moment.
I'd argue it wouldn't because it's shocking grasp and it's always touching me.
In this current moment, it is not. Do you have a bonus action that you would like to use?
It didn't make a cannon, so
Okay.
yep, nope. That's it. All right.
Gotcha. Leon, you're up.
Thought it was Thalner.
Or sorry, Thalner, you are up. Waiting in this water, you can still see stacked mildly a couple of small green lights over the obfuscated watery layer. And you moreover see Roscoe, who has created this arc of electricity and light and is swimming around the head of this creature itself.
Above the water, am I able to see any edge or wall or anything? Is it just...
You don't have dark vision, or you do?
I do.
Okay. As far as your dark reach or dark vision reaches, you don't see an edge or a walkable land.
But you do see a boat
Yes.
with room.
This boat's about 20 foot away from you, with Salvo, who had just Salvo had just moved it, so the boat is about 10 foot away from you, and Xeris is standing on it currently.
So this might be completely unrelated, but more out of curiosity. In the 2-week span of time, as things were kind of settling down, in hindsight, I would have liked to figure out what my clipping of Hellfire Ivy actually does.
Okay. Give me a retroactive nature check.
At least it's a little bit better now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. 13.
You have surmised that this plant is resistant to flame.
Okay. Just curious. Well, first I'm going to dip my head under the water and use my bonus action to create a bubbly sort of scream and say to this creature, I'm able to see it, right? If I can see Roscoe, I can see the grayish outline of... I'm going to scream, you are going to die in your home. You're gonna die in your home. And cast Unsettling Words.
Okay.
Which
It's a little unsettling.
means... a 1?
That's
Do I
the
have
one.
inspiration? I don't have inspiration. Well, that sucks. Oh, and I guess I wouldn't
Damn,
be able
Is
to
it a
do
roll
1d6.
to hit?
No, it's subtract 1d6 from the creature's next saving throw.
Okay.
Before the start of my next turn, but I rolled a 1, so it subtracts a 1 from its next saving throw.
Heard. Noted.
That's good.
That's a really good spell.
That's
I love
amazing,
Unsettling
actually.
Words. It's cool when it's a 6.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's like, I'm gonna fail that one.
That's my bonus action. Also, for clarification, Unseen Servant, casting that in the water. Is that doable?
Yeah.
I don't think they have breathing.
I was
They
reading
don't need to breathe.
But the specific verbiage of it says unoccupied space on the ground within range.
It would have to be the ground of this cavern, of the pool of water, and that is not in range. So
Okay.
you could cast it to stand upon one of the jutting rocks, but not in this pool.
A boat?
A boat, yes.
Yeah, I pondered the idea of trying to cast the Unseen Servant to seek the edge of the pool while we're fighting. But I don't think you can do that.
I will also say, with the Unsettling Words having been cast, you may only cast a cantrip.
It's not a spell.
Unsettling Word. Oh, that's
Bardic
the eloquence.
inspiration.
I see. That's powerful.
That is great.
Holy hell.
It's like
Because you can
anti-inspiration.
double it up with a saving throw.
Yeah. Well, like, cutting words takes away from a d20 roll, but that takes away from a saving throw. That's crazy. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I will cast. Is this temporary? No, it's regain. It's this one.
You cast your
Ah,
hand
the-
into the water.
That's touch.
Leon, you're on deck, by the way.
Yep.
I had a lot of ideas, and none of them really played out. Can I?
All right. Do you have a bonus action that you would like to use here?
That was my bonus action. I'm looking
Okay.
for my actual action to use.
Gotcha.
I'll go ahead and use. I'll use a cantrip anyways, because
Okay.
I want to.
Sure.
Vicious mockery. So while still underwater, after shouting to unsettle it that we were going to kill it in its home, I call it just a small slimy fish, and
I'm a cephalopod.
What is the saving throw?
it is a wisdom saving throw.
What is the DC?
15.
Okay. So it has a -1 on wisdom. It has a -1 from your unsettling words. With that, it had rolled a total of 14.
Nice.
So that passes. Vicious Mockery works. Go ahead and roll your damage. And 4 damage? Okay. Okay.
Max damage, and it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes
Interesting. That's very good.
before the end of its next turn.
Okay, nice. Good stuff.
And
Doing the
that
bard
is how
thing.
your utility.
Drop my microphone.
Utility.
You guys are basically entirely utility plus some fat damage.
So
And
balanced.
healing.
You guys are pretty balanced. Okay, so from there, Thalner, are you wanting to take your swim speed to move towards the boat or the
we're level
rocks?
4. I'm gonna swim up to the edge of the boat, but stay in the water.
Okay, so you swim up to the edge of the boat, clasp one of your claw-like hands on the edge of it, and just kind of float a little bit.
I imagine with my scales, I'm not like super cold.
You're not super cold.
Like I can feel it, but it's like.
It's icy, but it's not harmful. It hasn't been harmful to anybody. Leon,
Or you're
chilling in
dying.
the water.
All right, so
you're active.
I'm leaning over the front of the boat, and I look down and rage, screaming out. I'm coming for you, water dragon. And I dive with the ring of swimming on straight towards. I know it's gray. I go towards the center mass. I'm looking to basically get right to the beak or mouth opening.
Imagine like the mandibles of the predator, where there's like 4 long, like talons on the edges and the corners, and then rows of sharp teeth inside of it.
Okay. And do I get down right in front of it?
With your ring of swimming, yes, you do.
I get down right in front of it, and I push my bead of force into its mouth and activate it. So I will be in range of this.
Okay. So what is the saving throw for the bead of force?
15.
Okay, and that's a Constitution, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see. Dexterity.
Dex. Okay. A 12 will not pass, especially not
I got
since
18.
it has a -1, so it's 11. All right. Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage for the bead of force.
5d4.
Yeah.
Yep. You pass, so you'll take half of the damage.
I got 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Are any of us within 10 feet of that radius?
Roscoe is. Roscoe, please give me a.
Underside.
He's on the other side, but he's still in range. So give me a dexterity saving throw,
This
please.
thing is.
Am I?
Well, it's a 10
You
foot.
are not.
10
Wait,
foot
no,
radius, so
you've gotten a melee range. Yeah, you are.
Is this thing
A large creature?
water?
No.
It's wide.
A medium creature?
Its width from front of the head to the back of the head is less than 10 feet.
Yes, but you are within range of the speed of force.
Okay, that's fine. I was totally picturing like a big boy.
So I get to go
It's
against
big, but
the-
not like massive.
So I get to roll against the saving throw.
Yes, roll against the beat of force, dexterity saving throw, DC 15.
Are you there?
Yet.
Oh, you shock and grab?
Salvo is also.
Salvo, I'll give you inspiration. If you need it.
I don't know if it's gonna help.
Do you want it?
I mean, I'm in the bubble otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, I gave it to you.
And I'm still in the bubble.
Okay. How much damage?
12.
12 points of damage?
So I take 6.
Yep.
If I'm raged, I'm resistant to force damage.
You didn't specify rage, but I'll allow it.
He said
He
rage.
didn't do it.
Oh, he did?
In the
Okay.
beginning, yeah.
Okay, so half that.
Okay.
Ow.
So it takes 12 points of damage, and between Roscoe, Salvo, and Leon. Leon, I need you to give me a con save for holding your breath.
Ouch, that hurt a lot.
You're inside the sphere.
I'm trapped with it, yes.
The bead of force has two functions. One of them is a blast of damage, and the other one is the sphere trapping, if I'm not mistaken.
I got a 9.
It's kind of both.
Closes the area for 1 minute.
Yep.
A 1.
So any creature that failed to save is completely...
An enclosed creature can use its action to push against the sphere's wall, moving the sphere up to half the creature's walking speed.
Now, it says any creature that failed to save and is completely within the area.
Oh, completely.
You're not completely in the area.
Okay, then
You are
I'm
on the
not
outer
in
edge.
the bubble.
Okay.
Okay.
But you
But
got
it
full
is.
damage.
But I got the full damage.
So you took the full
I'm
damage.
pushed out of it.
12 damage to Salvo. Roscoe, you passed your dex save, right?
I'm going to use a lucky.
Okay. DC is 15.
I still failed.
Okay. So you'll take 12 points of damage. You also are not completely within sight of the sphere, so you're not trapped. Leon, on your con save of 9, this force and explosion buffets the front of your body, and immediately you expel all the air in your lungs. You are now considered drowning, which means you are unconscious, making death saves.
Okay. Do I do my first one?
Not yet.
Okay.
On your next turn, you will be. But
Cool.
additionally, because you're in water and you are heavy, you are sinking.
Okay. Help me, guys.
And that is when he realized.
He fucked up.
All right. So next up after Leon is Xeris.
I run. No, I'm just kidding. So is this creature entirely in a bubble?
Yes.
Yes.
And it weighs 1 pound.
I don't really probably gather all that. Where's Stack? Is Stack just like
just
below
sinking.
all this?
He's just sinking. He's probably 80 foot below the surface of the
my
water by
God.
now.
Yeah, there's no way I can.
It's up to Roscoe.
Ow.
Bead of force.
Point blank, no!
You gave the guy with the death wish a beat of force, so I'm gonna use it.
It's fair.
I'm going to cast a new thing I learned from Thalner. Message. And point towards Salvo.
Okay.
Say, what's going on down there?
You may reply to this.
Leon used a bead of force at point blank on the creature. It's now encased in a bubble weighing 1 pound. I am hurt. Leon is unconscious and drowning. I think Roscoe is okay.
And that is,
I was about to say, that's probably the bubble.
yeah, that's about what you,
25 words, right?
that's for sending. Combat's a little bit different, but that's perfect where we're at right here.
Sure.
Okay,
Emphasis.
I don't know
Ow.
what to do.
Message takes an action.
I know it does. But with my rest of everything. Let's see what that is. Yeah, no. Alright. I'm going to wait here feeling helpless.
Okay. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so for bead of force purposes, it is now this creature's turn. You said that it may attempt to use its movement speed to get out of it.
No, to move it.
To move it.
Half of its movement
Yeah,
speed.
an enclosed creature can use its action to push against the sphere's wall, moving the sphere up to half the creature's walking speed.
Okay. It does so, and it moves farther down. So it is now about 45 feet below the surface of the water.
So,
Now,
is there only air in there right now? Because it says only breathable air can pass through the sphere's wall.
The water that was in there is in there. Oh no, I guess
assume
the
since it, like,
bead force.
Yep, it's just air.
does it?
So is it drowning?
Can it breathe air?
Is it drowning?
From air? I don't know if it's really an
Its
octopus
con mod is a
or-
+2.
I will allow
It's
that.
not drowning. It's holding its breath.
Okay. Would the damage have,
Yep.
given it a cons?
Yep. It's holding its breath currently. All right.
Weird.
It's obviously not going to make any attacks on this turn.
Great.
How long could it hold its breath?
It would have had disadvantage, but that's fine.
Everything's fine. From here,
On its next attack?
Until the end of its next turn.
turn ends.
Yep.
JJ, you're up. With Roscoe after.
Can I see / and/or tell my friend?
Which friend? You can see Salvo kind of getting buffeted off, like spiraling in the water a little bit. You see Roscoe doing the same, but then he fades from your vision, going lower. Leon, more or less, you can see him getting buffeted away from it as well. You no longer see the glowing eyes of Stack.
Okay.
Most of this is probably out of vision at this point based on the depth of water for all of us.
Yep.
That's why I kind of asked what was going on.
This is going well.
I don't know that Salvo can breathe underwater.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
I do? Okay.
She shared that
At the tarn.
Okay. But I wasn't there for that.
Because I went to the
He
bottom
wasn't, but you guys divvied
we could have
up.
talked
You guys
about it,
divvied up magical items. A lot of them had to do with aquatic senses, and at this
okay.
point, Salvo probably would be like, "Well, I can breathe underwater." So
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to swim down to either of them
Okay.
and give them my bead.
Okay. You can make it to Salvo.
Yeah.
With your 15 swim speed, you can make it to Salvo.
Your beat of force? I hand it back to you. Oh, get Salvo, or get, I got you.
Yeah, he can't talk.
Right, but I'm,
Not for you!
and I go,
There's that 20 intelligence.
yeah.
All right.
Also, JJ can't see any of this.
So he hands Salvo a bead of force. There's not, unless you have a bonus action, there's not much you can do. Okay. Roscoe, you're up.
All right. So when someone's in a death save for drowning, what happens if I get them air? Do they immediately come out of it, or?
So functionally, let's say that we get Leon to the surface with air.
Or air any other way that I've.
Or air any other way. More or less, it will put them at one hit point.
To hurt him.
Does my Cloak of the Manta Ray take attunement?
Does not.
Yes. It doesn't?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. It does not require attunement.
Yep.
Also,
It's uncommon too.
I just realized a
Nice.
quick question. Do they get opportunity attacks against the enemy?
No, you can't
Move
actually
down
hit
to
it
there.
right now.
It's in a
the
bubble, so no.
And it's so it can't be
For a
attacked.
minute. It's
bubble-
effectively in a bubble that weighs a pound for a minute.
The walls are immune to damage or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to try and swim to him with my super swim speed
You get there, definitely.
and take my cloak off. I can hold my breath for max 4 minutes
Okay.
and put it around him.
Okay. So Roscoe will consider this your movement speed and your action. You rapidly, like almost like Aquaman, swim over to Leon, take this cloak off, wrap it around him. You see him like gasping, his eyes like wide in shock, and as soon as it wraps around him, and he looks at you, and he is breathing, and you are at 1 hit point.
Oh wow.
Oh, because
Took all
he's
his hit
down,
points?
basically.
When you're drowning, you're downed.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What were you doing just now?
Pointing up.
Okay, Roscoe looking at Leon is pointing up.
Am I able to interact yet, or no? Because it's not my initiative.
Yeah.
turn?
I mean, so conversationally in D&D combat, I allow someone to say something as a free action and someone to respond as a free action.
I telepathically say to Roscoe, Thanks, man. Wasn't expecting that. And then I hand out my hand and I say, take my ring.
Okay. Yeah, and then
that
we'll
allowed?
say that bonus action, using your entire action economy, you slip that ring off of his finger and put it on yours. And you now have it. You are holding your breath, correct? Mm-hmm. Got it. After Roscoe, that's going to be Stack, who continues to sink. However, for those of you with dark vision in the water, which I think right now is just Salvo. And Founder, you're kind of like hanging off the edge of the boat.
Mm-hmm. That's why I stayed in the water, so I could continue to see what was going on down in it.
Gotcha. With how deep this is, you can't see what I am about to describe.
Okay.
Salvo being a little bit farther underneath the water with dark vision, she can see Stack, who was like rapidly descending, stops descending. And is just looking at you guys like blink, blink, blink.
Like on ground or just like?
You don't know. Okay. So from there, Salvo with Thalner up after that.
Okay. I'm going to take the bead JJ gave me, put it in a pouch carefully.
It explodes. I'm just kidding.
Like, not intending to use that there again underwater. I'm going to swim over to the, I guess the thing went deeper, right?
Yes.
Am I near Roscoe?
Yep.
I point at Roscoe, I'm like, and then I swim down after the creature, if I can get to it.
Gotcha.
I guess if its movement speed's halved.
Yes, you are on par with its movement speed right now.
Okay, so I'm like to it basically?
Yes.
Can I grab the bubble that weighs a
you
pound?
grab one side of it, and as you grab it, you find it very odd. Not oddly, you know how this thing works, having identified
First
it.
practical
you
use.
you grabbed it, and first practical use of it, you feel like it glides through the water as you lift it.
I'm just like, and I start lifting as much as I can. I go see probably my movement speed. That's about. I have it, and that's
You
it.
have it, and that's where you're at right now. With that, that's Thalner. You're up. Now,
Would it naturally float?
No, it weighs a pound.
Yeah.
But it's
And
It's
full
not
of air.
density.
But it's full of air.
so
It's still 20 feet.
So, Thalner, what you are seeing is the ring that Roscoe is wearing is still lighted. You briefly, kind of see some shadows and silhouettes. Roscoe is handing this cloak over to Leon, and then Salvo swims over. There's a little bit of a physical exchange between the two of them. Salvo dives deeper and begins pushing what you can still see as this strange silhouette of an orb moving up. What are you doing from here?
How far are Roscoe and Leon in the water from me?
20 feet.
So I can swim that distance, or is swimming half your movement speed?
Swimming is half your movement speed. What are you trying to do here?
Touch.
You can get in touch distance of Leon,
But not Roscoe.
not Roscoe.
Okay.
He's wearing the cloak of the manor right now.
True.
We can ready
And
him.
also Roscoe did still have Leon had movement speed left over. My apologies. Sorry, continue.
I thought they were holding on to each other right now.
More or less. It's more of Roscoe had just put this cloak around Leon.
And Leon put a ring on Roscoe's finger.
And then
I'm on
Roscoe
the
swam down.
other side of Leon. So
Yeah.
if you're barely at the edge, it's like you,
I'll say this.
then Leon, then me on this side, and I'm just outside.
Is the
Can I-
touch function an action or a bonus action?
It is an action.
Okay. I will say that consuming all of your action economy, you can make it to Roscoe.
Yeah, can I swim down to Leon while they're having this exchange? And if you want to consume my bonus action with it, we're underwater, so kind of pulling myself forward and reaching both of them.
I'll allow it, yes.
He said
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Just making sure, I was thinking through it in my brain of how that makes sense.
That's okay. What you got going on?
So I want to swim down to both of them, get my hand on each of them, and cast heroism. You both feel this like swelling of bravery and confidence. You are immune to being frightened, and you gain 5 temporary hit points.
Wow.
That's good because I no longer breathe underwater, so
That literally your next turn was
Right.
going to be a disadvantaged roll,
Yeah.
but
And I look into your eyes and nod, and you just feel this. I've got this. Bravery.
What a hero.
One of our viewers, I'm going to murder the name, I think it's Pixies, probably,
yeah, Pixis.
made the argument that would the sphere be full of air, or would it be a vacuum, since there wasn't air nearby to fill the bubble, and the only thing that can pass through it is breathable air? And I was like, what?
I think we won one way or another.
I would assume the air.
Either
You just
of
open
those
it
options are good
underwater,
for
and that
us.
creature just like.
So, all right. This is an important thing to distinguish. The sphere itself, this bead of force, did not prior have water inside of it. And as it expanded, only breathable air can pass through it.
Yes.
So, that being said, with that argument, there is no water inside of the sphere. The movement speed it had taken, which was at halved, would have been halved again because air floats in water. So this creature actually is still in touchable distance of Leon and Roscoe, per that argument.
Nice.
It also is filling all of the space because it's like expanded.
Oh, for sure, you're right.
Okay,
Thankfully
so
it's stretchy.
Thalner, as you cast Heroism, you've used your action economy. Is there anything that you would like to say underwater, or should we move forward? Okay.
Yep. No, that's it.
Leon, you're up. You're at 1 hit point. You're
Nope.
conscious.
6. Because of
Oh yeah, because of the temporary hit points. You're at 1 hit point plus temporary hit points. You are up. What are you doing here? You have the Cloak of the Manta Ray active right now.
I am getting underneath the bubble with salvo
Oh, and then you can just.
and pushing it as hard as I can to the surface.
You do so, no rolls required. This bubble appears basically hovering over the surface of the water.
And I maintain egg beatering water, and I rip off the cloak and I try and push it down back into the water towards Roscoe.
Okay.
So I take off the manta cloak and I'm just treading water holding the bubble.
Okay, so the cloak is about 5 foot below the surface, and Roscoe currently is about 30 foot below the surface. So he's 25 foot distance away from it.
Okay.
Okay, I allow all of that. Your action economy from there will be consumed.
Yep.
Zero, so you're up.
I got it. And I start going in whatever direction I feel like is most common, or is most likely to be landwards.
Like away from the waterfall.
Yeah.
You're on a boat, right? Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So you're grabbing
sounds
the sphere, which weighs a pound, and you're essentially putting it on the boat with you.
What?
This huge sphere too. That's what's wild.
And I can't see any
Giant
land.
Zorb.
You cannot with the distance that dark vision has, which is dim light up to 60. You do not see the land.
And now it is full of air.
Okay, well, how far could I get the boat / myself?
About 20 feet.
From there, do I see any land?
Arbitrarily picking direction in which I will roll a dice for.
West.
What is it?
West.
West.
You have
Okay.
a direction dice?
I do, isn't it nice?
that is awesome.
You start heading west,
Like north.
and with that 20 foot of movement speed, you do see actually a staccato layer of shelf-like walking able bodies of land. It's like this cavern had been in the western side, created to form a natural stepping area, like a stair-like area.
Okay. 2 more questions. How far is that land?
From you right here, about 40 feet.
How long does the bubble last?
A minute.
1 minute.
Okay.
And we're only about 12 seconds into the bubble.
Okay.
Not even.
Well,
With the bubble, yeah.
I'm going to use, I guess, my dash action.
To further push the boat? Okay. You're about 20 foot away from this shelvin-like land. Additionally, as you do get closer and you can start to see more and more details, this indeed looks like someone had carved rock out of the cavern and formed a stairway, more or less. Towards the top, you barely see a darkened circle of a cavern entrance, and at the bottom of it, you can actually see that there is a faint glowing orange light reflecting off of a shadowy cavernous wall. So it's almost as if
Firelight is what I'm
yes.
thinking? Okay. Like how, like close?
No. So landing 20 feet away from you, bottom side cavern, far back in that you see a little bit of orange glow.
Okay, cool. Okay. I've got the beast handled. Safe stack. And the others. I say to JJ.
I'm in there, dog.
I think everyone's
underwater.
No, I'm.
Except for you.
You could say it to me, and then on my next turn, I can telepathically tell.
Yes.
Give me a segment. Are you above water?
I'm treading water. I just
He
handed you the orb.
handed you the
Oh,
orb.
okay. I thought he
Yep.
pushed it up. Okay. Well, then I say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
It is this
Same
creature's
stack.
turn. It can move the sphere
Is it considered grappled?
half the movement speed. No, it's not. It can move the sphere half its movement. The sphere half its movement speed. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. In your hands,
It is an underwater creature. It's half its walking speed.
its walking speed is halved.
So I don't know if that makes a difference to a water
It
creature.
takes its less than 10 feet movement speed and wiggles, thrashing its limbs all around the edge of the sphere, wiggling out of Xeris' hands, but not before Xeris gives me an athletics check to hold on to this sphere.
I'll show you the result of my
What is this, a -1?
9!
Yes.
I rolled a disadvantage for the creature. It rolled a natural 1.
Yeah!
You guys see this
One
creature?
pound, guys. This is 1 pound.
You guys see this creature just thrashing its limbs all around, trying to rock itself off this boat, and Xeris is like beads of sweat pouring down his face. Like, I have it! And it stays on the boat with you.
Yes.
You're like an atrophied atlas.
I'm like just struggling.
Oh, I love that. Okay. All right.
For no reason.
So, this creature has nothing else it can do on its turn. JJ, you're up.
How do you top that?
Rolled a 9.
I look down. I can't really see
To me, it was a
anything.
nat 20.
I look back up on the surface of the water. I'm just gonna swim back up. This is out of
Yeah,
sight.
you swim back up
You're
and
out
you
of
see
your depths.
Xeris. You barely see Xeris like wrestling with this sphere. You're about 15 foot away from the jettison of spiky rocks that one of the boats has kind of mingled and dangling off of.
I guess that's my turn. I also ready my action if I see another bad person, but that's it.
Okay. Roscoe, you're up.
I guess first I want to swim upwards to get the cloak.
Okay, so you swim upwards, your movement speed,
I got 40 because I have the ring.
perfect. Okay, I was about to say, you do have a little bit more movement speed as far as it goes to get in line with Leon for the cloak.
I think it says like 25 feet.
Yes.
Does it stack with the? Does it stack with the cloak? No, okay.
It does not. No.
So I had 40. I used 25 to get to the cloak. I
Yep.
put the cloak on, which gives me 60.
Okay. So then
So I've
you
got-
have 35 left.
Okay. Is there any way, I don't know if I can
Dash
see,
action.
to try and determine how deep is Stack? Are we talking like 100 feet? Or are we talking like 50 feet?
You no longer see the glowing of his eyes. You are uncertain.
How far was the boat away from me? Well, okay. I guess my real question is, you dumped everything out of the bag of holding.
What? Originally, yes.
So I assume it's still... No, because I put my stuff in it. That's why I'm swimming quickly, because I'm not overloaded. The Stack is fine. He's not... I swim to the boat.
Okay. You don't quite make it to the boat. You're about 10 foot away. But popping her head up above the water, you see Xeris just like this creature's just thrashing about inside of it very violently.
foe! Are there any other spikes protruding out of the water other than the ones beneath the waterfall?
From your perception, no.
Okay. So I yell out to him, man, if you can't hold him, you can always drop him on the spikes.
I'm gonna bring him to land, and then pop it.
I'm gonna use my dash action to go the rest of the way to the boat.
Okay. You use the dash action, you make it to the boat. Okay. I'm just kind of like holding on to the edge while it's like violently rocking about. It is Stack's turn. Salvi, you're the only one that can see this. Blink, blink, blink. And it starts moving a little bit in the westward direction.
Is that towards the land?
Yes.
Gotcha.
More or less, you surmise that that Stack is like just standing underwater, like, what do I do here? And then like has looked around and seen some people moving that direction, and he's like, I'll go there, and starts walking. From there,
That's a cool shell.
ooh, here, flip your coin. Is it on the spiky side, crystal side?
This is tails.
Tails? Okay, he does not find a cool shell. I'm sorry.
He stepped on it.
Crunch! Salvo, you're up with Thalner on deck.
Cool. I'm going to Aqua Dash. Tangentially to Stack's. Like, I can see the direction Stack's heading. I'm above him, so I'm kind of like
Yeah, you're just,
converging.
Gotcha. You end up roughly about 20 foot away from him. Very, very dark abyss down here. Just bleeding black kelp pieces dangle from the floor below. And you see that Stack is more or less just kind of walking on jagged rocks heading in this direction. You don't see any other creatures. And that's about where you're at right here.
Sure. That's as far as I can do.
Okay. Thalner, you're up. You, holding on to the boat that Xeris was navigating, have been watching this entire... Oh, no, you had...
I'm way underwater.
I'm sorry. You had swam down to Roscoe and Leon.
15 feet underwater. 15,
Okay.
20 feet underwater.
I will say this. You may have used your reaction to hold on to Roscoe as he's quickly swam through this area, if that's what you had so chose.
Dolphin style.
Just right.
If you want to do that, you may.
And that wouldn't have slowed him down.
Nope. Not with a magically infused cloak. Nope.
And with his dash, he
red
actually
style.
had plenty of movement speed left over.
Huge. Yep.
120 Aqua Dash.
Yep. Like literally, Roscoe is just like swimming through the water. Like
You just feel my claws like digging into your back. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. So at the surface now.
For something.
Seeing Xeris kind of juggling this giant beast in a ball, I'm gonna shout to him, "You got this, buddy! Doing great!"
Thank you, it's like 100 pounds!
Looks like it's a lot. And give you bardic inspiration for whatever is coming next.
Gotcha. What is coming next? This creature has 3 attacks and has made 1 attack round.
Exactly.
None of us know.
Asphyxiation's what's coming.
Tune in next episode to see what I do with the ball.
Yeah, does the creature have to roll for holding its breath?
You're uncertain.
Shake the ball.
It's like a gachapon.
You only had to roll when you got hit.
All right, so action.
So
Would you
that's a
say that
guess.
this creature can hear me?
Yes. If air can travel through the bubble, so may sound.
I just don't know how this creature's hearing works. If it yeah. Anyways, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna cast Dissonant Whispers and
Trigger that.
just dragon screech in its head.
Okay. Wisdom save. What's the DC? 15?
Yes.
It rolled a natural 1.
We like those.
Second
So,
one.
yeah.
Well, the other one was at disadvantage too, but
So does that mean DM gets inspiration for natural ones that we could use?
not that you could use. I do like that idea. You guys, if you guys get inspiration on natural 20s, why don't I get inspiration on natural ones? We'll talk about that later.
I mean, like the ones that work in our favor.
No. That's not
Basically everything
Then I take it all
already
back.
works
Take it
in
all
your
back. Take it
favor.
back. I
No,
take it
the idea has been seeded.
No, don't see it.
What's the damage on this Dissonant Whispers?
I mean, yeah.
If it's more than 14,
No, it balances. That's always been my deciding factor for cocked dice. If you can't, if you put another die on top of it, it slides off.
yeah. Is it 14 or more?
It is.
Water.
It is 11.
11. Okay. You guys, those who can see it, just kind of see this creature screech and all of its tendrils curl in around itself, and bursts of blackened blood just pop and splatter on the inside of this orb.
Ew.
And it continues screaming, indicating that it is still alive.
Me or
The creature.
I'm sure you're
Yes,
also screaming.
Just like, what is happening?
I'm defeating it with my mind.
Actually, because it also does have to use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away, so you may have to roll.
So, with that being said, prior I was giving its athletics check disadvantage because this is a magical fear. It's going to be a straight roll. So, straight roll athletics, and it's going to do a straight roll athletics. What you got? What you got?
You got something bad.
You have inspiration.
I'll go ahead and say this. The creature on a straight roll got a 10.
Six.
Okay.
Bardic inspiration.
Oh, yes.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Xeris, you turn around and so strong! Thalner's just like, you got this, and you're like, this is so strong, but I know I got that. It just pulls out. Do you see? And plunks into the water. Using the rest of its movement speed, it is only about 5 foot below the surface.
Okay. No problem.
From here, Leon, you're up.
So how far away am I from the bubble right now?
About 40 feet, yep.
Okay, I'm going to swim. Can I get
30 feet.
within 15 feet of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to get within 15 feet, and I'm going to use my psychic breath weapon.
Okay. That's a save, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that
Yes. Dex
breathable
DC
air
15.
goes through?
No attack.
Magic typically supersedes most
Okay.
circumstances.
Psychic.
It's not really breath. It's psychic.
Imagine like a banshee just screaming and all of that psychic energy hitting whatever it is that it's doing. That's kind of what he's going for right now.
It says no attack or
no
other
attack
effect.
or effect can.
In the sphere?
On the yeah.
Okay. Leon. Just letting go of this burst of psychic energy, waves and ripples of water occur around it, and it just kind of buffets the ball a little bit, and it starts to spin, and that's it.
Also, my attack wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I was afraid to say that.
Dissonant whispers so the sphere allows air to move through,
Which
Only
which is
visible air.
sound.
And it wasn't an attack because it was. A
It
saving
wasn't an
throw.
attack, it was a saving throw.
It says other effect too.
Other effect.
Well, mine's a saving throw as well.
We're gonna, so for the purposes of moving the stream forward, we're gonna allow the breath weapon.
Okay.
We'll worry about the logistics of that moving forward. What is the saving throw on the breath weapon?
Dex 15.
I'd argue that both of those are psychic or in your mind, so it's
Yeah,
not technically
so-
moving through it,
so
it's
like
already
yes.
in there.
Like Leon
Yes.
breathes, and you think that you're getting consumed by an attack,
Right.
Which is why I'm allowing
and
it.
that's why it works in
Yeah.
your brain.
Yep.
But like a fire breath weapon, I would argue does not.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
Being psychic is a little bit different.
We're only arguing for
Let's go. Let's go.
So, it failed with a 4.
Yes. All right.
Die, water dragon.
You guys ever seen a pimple pop?
Ew.
Speaking of, what is the bare minimum of damage that you can roll in this?
A 1.
Roll it.
I got a 9.
Please describe the fate of this not water dragon
So
inside of the bubble.
I psychically just overload its mind, and as it's grasping at its face, it can't stand the pain that it is taking, so it actually suctions and rips and tears his own face off.
Ooh, yeah, the tentacles wrap around its own head and just.
Nice.
And then if I have anything left, I'm going towards the surface because I'm probably going to drown again.
You're holding your breath, and you can do so for a number of times, but you peek your head up above it and go. You guys are now out of combat.
I immediately jump out of the boat and get to the orb. And say, I got it!
just sloshing
And
with
you
your
sure
weight.
And then I swim to the edge and throw that 1 pound up and over onto the ground as I get out of the water. And say, quickly! As I roll the ball over to a corner.
There's just a
Painting
bloody
the
pulp.
inside.
Yeah,
It's a black ball at this point.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you guys all do make it to this flat landing, roughly about 30 foot across, 5 foot wide, with a cavern on one end and like ascending steps on the other. You guys are out of combat.
I also cast Mind Sliver inside the orb, thinking that there might be a creature there.
You notice that your spell does not take effect.
It's psychic.
You notice that it doesn't take effect.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm like,
So
it's me.
I'd like to think after a few moments, Stack and I basically walk out of the water to like James Bond
Hand in
style.
hand.
Well, you
like-
can see just like slowly Stack is just kind of like climbing rocks, and like he looks up at you, and you like indicate where to go, and he's like, okay, and starts just climbing through this rock, and you eventually do see Stack just cresting over the lip and just being like, ah, that was fun.
Look who I found.
Hi.
That's great. That's a relief.
What's going on up here? How's the orb?
Is it dead? It's about to pop. Everyone just be ready.
It pops, and a splatter of black blood just.
And with like the black stuff on me, I prestidigitation myself. Xeris is still coming off the adrenaline from this highly physically exerting. You got runner's high.
Yeah, you'll need to take 1 point of exhaustion. I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, I did it.
What the hell was that?
I looked at
shit show.
I looked at everyone. I go, my bad, guys. I kind of was zoning out when you told me how these beads work, and yeah.
Mate, that worked great.
Yeah.
They're like injured.
I couldn't do much with it being under the water because it couldn't hear me, but
Yeah, sorry.
Remind me not to fight anything in the water with any of you.
we did fine. What do you mean?
Oh, about that. Fine is subjective.
Leon, you're
I only.
looking pretty rough.
I don't worry about me. I don't mind it when I put myself in harm's way, but that was a little reckless even for me.
Granted, the entire time he's talking, he's coughing and sputtering up water in between words.
Maybe we should take a short rest before moving onwards.
Where is onwards?
JJ,
Down here, if you look down.
can you help me out, brother?
And at this moment, like kind of coming off this adrenaline and putting myself back in this scenario and getting a grips of my way too excited self, I said we should actually quiet down. It seems I point in the distance where you guys can see what seems like maybe some type of campfire light around the corner in the distance, further into.
Are you saying this hushed?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm still holding onto the boat in the middle of the water. Alright, guys, I'm gonna go see what's at the bottom.
Just come over here. We'll get you looked at. Oh, man.
No, I take a big swig and I swim to the bottom of this. I want to see, like, this thing came from the bottom. Does it have a hoard? Is it like stuff that it's dragged down other people? Like,
You don't have dark vision, correct? You just only have the
I have
ring.
my ring.
Okay.
My light ring.
Give me
And water breathing.
give me an investigation
Literally
check at
swimming through
disadvantage.
the water.
Does anyone have a light?
Investigation at disadvantage.
I can make 5 little lights. Like his ring.
8.
Total of 8.
Yeah.
You find a strange mishmash amalgamation of fibrous material that seems to be nest-like. You don't see much else in there other than like a few rocks and downed, waterlogged leaves and twigs. Not much else. And then you swim back up.
And I message, stay quiet, we might not be alone. You hear
that in your head.
Oh.
I'm trying to get Leon upside down to get all the water out of his lungs. Just
burp the baby.
You are using a healer's kit in this function?
Salvo's hammer.
I don't know if we're gonna take a short rest at all, but mechanically speaking, I would only use my healer's kit if you're already downed, because it's not
Checks.
Gonna
Yeah,
give
that makes
much
sense.
HP. So
Basically, just trying to help him get the water expelled from his lungs.
Yeah.
Okay, expelled from his lungs. Okay. You do help him with that. As Roscoe kind of catches up with the rest of the group, and Stat goes, "I don't swim well." You guys are starting to hush yourselves a little bit. Nothing and no one has left this cavern in which that Xeris has indicated. And Karlach has flown back over towards Leon. And Leon, you hear?
That was a gross one. I seen that one eat a couple of my friends.
Here's a berry.
Oh. Just starts munching on it, stops talking immediately. Just starts munching on it.
Little bat fucker knew this thing was here the whole time.
None of you know that.
I know.
I'm not doing a voice. I'm not doing a voice.
It's only Leon that
This
knows
is
that.
Clint that's like, what the fuck?
Sure.
Didn't ask.
Now we can have our own little bat haven down here.
Remember what I did for you.
Yeah, you're a right hero, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Leopold, it was wonderful to meet you. You still owe me some berries, and I can kind of hear the missus squeaking around. I'm about to leave. Need anything from me?
So we got 4 hours from now.
If I give you this last berry, you can go, but send... I have 2 left?
2 more. Right?
Right.
I'll give you this berry. If you know of any other neighboring bat friends that you could send down here, I'll add another 10 to your tab.
10?
Another 10.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, so many berries to the bats of this world.
He just knows where a specific berry bush
16.
is.
16?
Well, my crazy cousin Archibald lives not too far from here. I can go give him a squeak.
All right. Here's the last berry. Give it to... I'm trusting you to give it to him.
Sure.
The shiftiest eyes.
Can I insight the bat?
You are no longer speaking its language. Yes, you can insight it at disadvantage because you kind of were hearing some of its squeaking patterns.
I don't like that bat's tone.
That squeak is sketchy.
What'd you get?
6.
6? Seems chipper. Very chipper and happy.
Squeaky.
Very squeaky.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll go let Archibald know, and I'll bring him this berry. All right, toodaloo.
It starts flapping off and is gone.
He's good.
He's gone.
I
home to
swim
his wife and
the boat
kids.
over to the edge and pack it back up.
Yeah, you pack the boat back up.
I'm not feeling so great, so I'm gonna drink.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that con save.
At advantage?
Natural 20!
Yes, so with that natural 20,
My new die.
you gain inspiration. As I find a correct song that I want to play for this, I guess. Let's just do that. Yeah, so Roscoe kind of, you'll hear the wet platter of skinned feet walking on rock-like ground, and he takes a step over and starts drinking. And with that nat 20, Roscoe, you are buzzed. You gain the benefits from that, and additionally, I need you to give me a perception check.
13?
13. There was a very strange, multi-capped fungal entity on the wall, glowing with a dull bluish-green color. And as you had gone and sat next to it, you see it in the periphery of your eye, and then directly look at it. Small tendrils of glowing matter uproot itself from the side of the wall and get away from you, and then root itself back into the wall.
Oh, I chased that shit. I want that.
You chase that shit. It's not far. Like, you literally move a little bit forward, and as you move forward towards it, it starts moving away from you again. And as you look up, the walls in a web-like pattern are covered in these bioluminescent mushrooms.
Hey, you guys see that? Or did I drink too much?
You guys all look over, and you barely see the last shifting of said lighted mushroom.
Whoa. See, what are you seeing, first of all?
And the walls are moving.
Can I do a nature check as well?
Yeah, go ahead. Anyone that would like?
No.
That one.
I got a nat 1 as well.
Whoa.
That's a 4.
Yo, that's some spooky mushroom shit going on, y'all. Y'all don't like it.
Much better. 22.
22? Also 22?
7.
7? Okay. Yeah,
That would've
7, very confusing.
10.
10. Okay. With a 22, Salvo, you are the only one that knows what this is.
Of course.
Checks out.
Scientifically, these are called mycelium mycelium luminescei, and these are non-sentient creatures that are mushroom in nature. They emit a bioluminescent glow as they pull ether from the air and consume it like oxygen, which indicates directly to you that there is a lot of ether in this area. They are siphoning it from the air and just thriving off of it. By ether, Clint/Roscoe, that is the scientific definition of magical energy.
Not the stuff I can soak a
Not
rag
the
in.
like.
No,
Yeah.
no, not the get high stuff.
I actually didn't know which way it was gonna go. I was like, I could see it actually going either way.
Being like an apprentice of alchemy, I'm like, I want to smash that shit up and brew it. So I'll pick up a rock and try and like knock one of them off the ceiling.
Okay. Give me a roll to hit.
So these are like actual magic mushrooms.
In a literal sense?
I'm gonna go with like
Roscoe eats.
throwing a dart, a ranged attack.
Yep.
So it's a dirty 20.
AC was 12. You throw a rock. You guys hear like a very high-pitched,
No.
and like it kind of crumbles to the ground, and Roscoe goes and scoops it up, and it's wiggling in his hand, and you have it.
Oh god.
You smack it on the ground, and the glowing dulls.
Are these sentient?
He said nonsense.
Non-sentient.
They just react
Specifically.
So it's about as sentient as a starfish
Or jellyfish.
or a jellyfish.
Has a
It doesn't
nervous
have a
system.
brain.
But a nervous system.
Yes.
So it can
Oh, it
feel
isn't-
pain but not remorse.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna just carry a live one around. You guys never gone fishing?
Put it out of its misery, I guess.
It's already dead.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
I'm
doesn't
saying that's
feel
what he
misery.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I put it in my alchemy bag.
Okay. Put one into your inventory. Put a stalk of.
Mycelium luminescei.
Yes.
Glowing shrimp.
Magic shrimp.
That's easier, right?
Yeah. He's like, I can see Roscoe like writing in his notes like mushroom.
One shroom.
It's like some lines coming up.
And the little like beep, 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 beep. He's living.
I do not recommend licking it.
You see me kind of.
No, Roscoe.
Salvo said, "Don't do that."
I don't actually. Do I know if that's lethal or not?
Medicine shit?
Yeah, it'll be separate from the nature. That would be a medicine check.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've never used it before, so I don't know.
Medicine. I'm okay at medicine. I have no idea what that does.
What did you actually roll though?
Critical one.
Ooh.
With the 4.
Dude, that's a
A
lot of
total of
ones
4.
on these mushrooms.
Yeah, that's
They're
crazy.
using their magic on us.
Oh no.
Since
No clue.
fungi
I think
and
you're
the animal kingdom stems from fungi, could I technically beast sense?
I love where your head is going, but no.
I love it.
Mycelium network.
I was thinking about comprehending languages to.
You're getting on the MiFi?
Oh man.
It's got a network.
So good. So good. I am so glad that I changed how
It's got an expansive interweb.
So back to the importance of my drinking. I would say I was already buzzed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that could take me to drunk.
Yeah, you're in. Yeah, with that, you're in drunk
10 hit
territory.
points. Is what
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And as Roscoe and Salvo and JJ and Xeris are all like kind of talking about the mushrooms, and Leon's like, "Can I talk to him?" And he tries to talk to him, and you can tell that he's not talking to him. What are you guys up to right now?
Well, considering all the noise we've made and no one has wandered this direction, this may be a safe spot to rest a little bit.
I walk over to the mush of ink and meat and grab a beak.
Don't. Oh, okay.
Give me a survival check.
Heard the word meat, and I was like, don't you dare, don't. Forbidden snack.
Calamari.
Can't eat mushrooms. You can't eat the calamari. This is bullshit.
15.
Okay. You successfully loosen 2 of the
Predator teeth things.
yes, long, like essentially 8-inch in length, spiky tooth-like talons. You get 2 of those, wrenching them from the gums of this creature, and yeah, put that in your inventory.
If Roscoe's next to me, relatively,
We're all pretty close, yeah.
I kind of like, does anyone want one of them?
I'm good.
I mean, yeah, no one's gonna believe this story.
I'll take one.
Ew.
I'll leave that up to.
Stack, you ain't got no pockets, man.
I don't have pockets.
I do have this.
No.
I'm not allowed to open that.
That was correct.
Good
I
voice.
put that in my bag,
Yeah.
and then I sit down, just like exhausted, and I'm like, that was sweet.
He needs a nap.
I could use a nap.
Do I think that eating this creature would be non-lethal? I'm just
You have
genuinely.
You genuinely have no idea.
Over the
As-
table,
as
if I had more
Xeris.
hit points, I would try.
I mean, we.
Well, I'm just not.
I'm standing
raw.
by. You're
I'm just saying,
more
like,
than I'm on
You
call.
may,
feel like
you may
common sense would
certainly
be cooking.
attempt to do so.
So I mean, I guess I'll just cut off a little.
While you try to, are you gonna try to cook? Because I'd love to take a short rest too. Anyone else?
definitely.
You guys short resting?
I'm not feeling so great.
If you guys are going to short rest, I will pet you up before you go to sleep.
Okay.
We don't have to sleep during a short rest.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Well, before you rest, yeah.
Okay,
sorry.
sweet.
Yeah.
So, can
And
someone?
then I want to stay vigilant during this of fire area.
Okay, who's first?
The one who drowned.
Okay.
Is there a name for this water beast thing? It's just for ease of writing down.
Give me a history check.
You are a seaman.
At advantage for him?
I don't know if I should. I probably should ask this on
7.
camera for.
Devin,
some
you're
people,
uncertain. It looks squid-like, but it's not a squid.
So could you, for the newbies out there and for myself, explain the difference between a short and long rest again?
So a short rest. So let's start with a long rest. Long rest resets basically everything, all of your skills, your hit points, your spell slots, etc. Let me also short rest music. I'm just kidding.
Was your second one?
So, with that being said, the difference here is that in a long rest, you need 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of light activity. In a short rest, in rules is written, that is roughly 2 hours. And how it is written says that you need 1 hour of downtime, which doesn't have to be the light activity, and then 1 hour of light activity. The way that I essentially handle that in this campaign will be a short rest, because it's kind of arbitrary to be like, am I doing this light activity or not? A short rest will last an hour, and a long rest at minimum is 6 hours. The light activity, like you literally could just be like, screw light activity and just go to sleep, for example.
And it's giving me an option to heal with hit die on a
Yes.
short rest.
So on a short rest, you roll with hit die. As a barbarian, your hit dice is a D12. And you would roll that
+5.
and then add your constitution modifier of +5.
For each die.
You have
Total 4.
you have as many hit dice as your barbarian level. So 4.
Okay. Well, you were going to heal me first.
Yeah, you got 14.
Okay, that helps. Is the temporary health away? Is that done?
That's the
Yes.
Actually, you don't. Unless
Yeah,
it was temporary.
It's temporary.
Temp HP, I believe, lasts an hour.
I mean,
could be wrong.
eventually it
Well,
would drop
during
off.
the, so I'm just going to do it now.
So just during the short rest.
And then you said 14.
as well. The drinking temp.
Yes,
And
drinking
also-
10 hit points also do fade because you're getting sober.
What if I keep
On a
just
long
nipping?
rest,
You do.
regain
You keep
half
nipping
of
and you
hit
retain your hit points, but you
So if you
realize
have
that
4,
the
you
first
used all
of your
them.
second flasks
Tomorrow
are
you
now
only have
empty.
2.
I see what you're
So
saying.
you don't want to just always just
Use
buy
all
I
of
got
them.
dosey-do.
Okay. that makes
You have the
sense.
dosey do that you have
needs.
not been drinking a lot out of, but one of your liquor flasks are now empty.
Okay, I'm going to use 2 of my
Thank you.
health dice.
Actually,
Sure.
You can always use them one at
Fine.
a time and determine if you want to, just
Think
in
I'm
case
fine
you
now.
do.
Okay.
Like if you rolled a 12 and that would make you want to roll 1, you can do that.
Oh, I'm great. Thank you.
all better.
All right, that was 8.
Okay.
You just had some water in your lungs.
Plus the 5?
Some
or-
force in my chest
Oh,
and face.
you're right. So 8 plus 5. I already did the 8, so I'm adding that again.
Cool.
Real quickly, unless temp points have a specified duration
Then
when
I got a
granted,
5,
until you
so
take a
that's
long
10,
rest.
and I will
Okay.
stop.
Granted.
Okay.
So you're drinking ones, unless, but in case of the drinking ones, they're because
That's
you're
good
drinking.
enough.
I would see how those would be time based, but like the other ones from
I'd be nipping
heroism,
anyways.
does that have a specified duration on it?
I don't believe so.
The effect itself has a duration, but I don't think the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then until you finish a long rest.
1 minute.
So yeah, the Thauner's temp hit points will last until you guys complete a long rest or they get removed.
Yeah.
What?
Heroism itself lasts 1 minute. The temp hit points last until.
Yeah, unless it says
When the
temp-
spell ends, the target loses any remaining hit points from the spell.
Then yep, there you go.
So okay, you're correct. You are correct. Those temp points are now gone.
They're gone.
Specificity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now the
So I've
ones from
used
my
my-
cannon don't.
2 dice and looking pretty good now.
Okay. So at the
Looking
tail
pretty good,
end of this short rest, you guys hear a cacophony of squeaking sounds. And a small mob of maybe 4 or 5 dozen bats flit about over your head, wrap around in a circle, and then some of them land on some of the rocks, and one of them, a very large chungus version of a bat, flies up and is kind of like floating in front of your face and like looking at you a little bit, and then latches onto your chin. He says, "Oi, I heard you got the berries."
So I assume Carl sent you.
Yeah, Carlock, my cousin.
That's right.
Yeah, where them berries, boy? Those were good.
There. Once we get out of here, I'll get you berries.
Trying to leave right now, or
No, we
I'm trying to leave. You got berries? We're leaving.
we need your help if you want berries.
Oh, right. You surface dwellers. What you need?
Hey, I just unlocked this whole cave for you guys. You should be very grateful.
What do you mean unlocked? Okay.
You guys knew there was a big monster down here, and now there's no more. So this is all yours.
Right. He took care of the water. We took care of the air. It was only the foolish and the young that really got eaten by him. You didn't do me no favors other than not give me any damn berries.
Sassy bats.
I need some berries.
We will get you a berry. I have no more berries on me right now.
That's not what Carlock said. Said you got about 50 of them.
Can you use prestidigitation to make anything taste like a berry?
Yeah.
I say out to the group.
We could take a chunk of whatever. I can use the magical tinkering to make it look like a berry,
Ration-
and then you
ration
can
packs or
prestidigitation.
Or the squid.
Oh no!
Well, we don't want to do this.
So
We've got rash, we've got like
say to,
MREs or like
was
crackers
the
or
bat's
lambus
name?
bread or whatever.
The cousin?
yeah.
To be completely honest, I forgot. I know.
It was a
that
W. Started with a W.
no.
What? Archibald.
Archibald. Yep, that's it. Thank you, honey.
I love NPCs.
Making up bat NPCs on the fly. Yes.
Carl and Archibald.
Carlock.
Hold on. I think my buddies might have some berries. Just wait. Let me talk to them.
I'm waiting, just hanging out here.
So prestidigitation can do 3 things at once, right?
Up to.
So illusion and flavor.
Yeah, because I can make a small trinket that'll last for 6 seconds.
So you could make a tiny little nugget of ration look and taste like a berry.
Probably. I feel like I could do that.
So these bats are about to leave without having some berries. Do you guys have any ideas?
I could
Hey, what are you talking about over there?
whip
I'm
up.
asking if they have berries.
I thought you had berries, mate.
I told you that I have berries at the house, and I gave Carl all of the berries on my person.
So you guys hear him squeak, 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 squeak back, squeak, squeak. Hey guys, we need something. We need and then you hear squeak, squeak, squeak intensely.
Man, I got some magic.
These guys are gonna leave if we don't.
I quickly kind of like scoop up a rock
Too.
and
A rock?
yeah, a little pebble
Why?
and
Have you ever tried to masticate a rock?
prestidigitation.
No. I pull out a chunk of ration, like, please do this.
But that could last forever.
Wait, no!
God,
Yeah, it's like
God. I want them to eat it and swallow it and be like, I'm full of berry.
yeah, I as I get the rock ready, and Salvo stops me and hands me a chunk of rations. I take that instead and prestidigitation of a lovely grape.
It just like flies over, like bites into
And
it.
then I pull back real quick and say, "Is it good to give?
Yeah.
Have you held up to?"
Oi, what's your friend here?
There you go.
Ah. It just bites into it, just like biting into it on your hand, like. It's so cute. It's a very heavy bat. Like you literally feel like, oh, this is a heavy bat.
It's a monster!
Heavier than the orb.
Exactly.
All right. You got my attention, and the attention of the clan.
I need your most spry bat to be my bat boy. To be my.
Man.
Bat bud, man.
I need your
Batman.
spryest bat to be my Batman.
My bat bitch.
What you need it for?
No.
To be able to navigate the darkness.
All right. For how many berries?
This bat is going to be joining our team, and he will get berries for life.
But what about for the clan, mate?
I will plant a tree at my house, and you can get berries whenever you'd like on that tree.
Give me a persuasion check.
You have a
I was gonna say, do you
He did. He did put 10.
Also, berries.
11.
Grown
he did up
bushes.
his tab by 10 berries. I mean, maybe that was for
these
the
bats.
But we don't know what's going on right
11.
now.
So the running theme here is these bats have a DC 10 to convince. He says, Sugi! You just hear like this flitting from above and cascading down in a strange visual juxtaposition to all the other bats. This one has white-ish fur and white-ish skin.
I like it.
And where all the other bats have like a brownish chocolate-like eyes, these are like a dull red. and this bat flies down and kind of like lands hanging from one of the pouches from your sash. And
Hey, how's it going?
You have no idea how lucky you are. You have joined the greatest band of adventurers, and you are gonna live lavishly with berries for the rest of your days.
I like berries.
I like you, buddy. And I look to the cousin bat, and I go, "Thank you."
you're actually welcome. Welcome.
I
The
will-
berries are a boon, and getting Zugi out into the world to learn some things. It's good, Mark.
They're potting him off. Taking give it to you for free.
I've never been on an adventure.
I describe the
warrior bat.
I describe where the tea shop is,
Okay.
and I say, find me there in a couple weeks, and I will give you all the berries you need.
If you
Are you talking to me? No, he's not talking to you.
Protection.
No, it's fine. He's just going to tell them exactly where to go if they're pissed off and promise them a tree that's impossible to grow in 2 weeks.
All right.
salvage.
Well, seeing as you owe us about 60 berries now, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Zugi, make sure that you take care of your new friends and adventuring partners. I like adventuring.
I'm so good. I can't understand.
And the rest of the bats in a flurried haze fly off with one little albino bat still hanging from Leon.
Where are we going next?
Zugi, I'm going to.
It'll take it a while to kick in, but I definitely cast comprehend languages.
You kick it in and you're hitting the point where Zugi's like, I've never been on an adventure. Like you're starting to pick
And
that
I'm
up.
just like, I finish it, and I'm just like. The one's like, all right, we'll meet you for the berries at the tea shop, and I'm just like, I don't say anything, but you guys can see my face. Very expressive.
Xerus, you seem distressed.
Inside check.
Hit him with that insight.
Oh, it's instant pass. I'm wearing it on my face.
Just
Not
a
one
lot
pass,
of worry
I'm just like-
and a lot of confusion.
What seems to be your concern, Xerus?
I think we got the reject bat. Also, he promised them a lot of berries at Downer's tea shop.
Hey, is your name Leon?
Yes, Zugi. Everyone,
You
this
like-
is Zugi.
You like grubs?
I've eaten some grubs.
They're tasty.
Oh yeah. I'll get you a bunch of grubs. Now I'm gonna teach you something, Zugi, and it's gonna help us, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to place you in my hood of my cloak, because I have the cloak of protection.
Okay.
And I'm going to connect with you, so you don't have to do anything. But when I
Oh.
need you and it's dark, I will connect with you. And then when it's not dark, you can hang out in my cloak and eat bugs and berries.
It's kind of like taking a nap.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
And then I try to do that.
Yeah, he like just kind of crawls up onto the top of your head and just like you feel the leatheriness of his wings kind of flap over the sides of your head and just kind of feel like a little snuggling. He's like,
But not Leon.
I love it.
So while that's all going on, like us five are like off to the side while he's like having this conversation, and I'm like, and so he's saying he can go inside. He's asking about grubs. He's definitely slow.
Is he
The bat
haggling?
is slow as well.
Is this bat being a dick and haggling for better deals?
No, not at all.
Well, okay,
No, it seems like
that might be a win.
slow but kind, gentle,
y'all
giant.
is
The
the
bat as
kindest.
well.
y'all hear like in a 4/4 like little squeaks. But Xerus, you hear,
He's sleeping. He's sleeping.
All right.
I can't speak to him, but I can understand.
Anyway.
A little bit of backtrack.
I love our new NPC.
He was gonna heal us before the short rest.
Yes.
And he got one. I also
You want one?
want some of that.
Alright, I guess. Checks my pouch.
Let's see if I got anything from Roscoe. Ooh.
Can I take my
Do I need to
spawn
short
my
rest
pick
to
and
take that
start
healing?
tapping the corners of the ground for little bugs just
I
to
think
store
Short
in
rest
my
lets me use it
pocket?
on you again.
He like revamps.
Easily
So if
enough,
we do it
you
beforehand,
find
we don't have
a
to-
good handful of bugs. You guys
13.
hear.
11 HP.
Or 15.
You guys hear. It took you a while to adjust, especially now that there's a little bit more silence going on. Crackling and popping, and almost like a high-pitched that dies down and then brings back up and then dies down again. It's a consistent sound. Not consistent in a way where it seems planned, but more natural.
Do I recognize what this sound is similar to, or is it semi-familiar to me?
Give me a nature check.
Tea? The steamer.
Steaming water.
Or a dentist drill.
You said this is a nature?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll a nature?
13.
Yeah. With a 13, this sounds similar to a campfire. The
A
sounds
whistling
of
campfire?
burning wood,
Oh.
Wet wood.
precisely.
So, steam.
Yeah.
Combination of, but yes. Thalner, you notice this. It's coming from the cavern that Xeris had pointed out with the glow inside of it.
Yeah, I'll go sneak up there and take a look.
Well, and one of the ideas we had coming down here was we have 3 spiral masks.
And 1 ring. Actually, more
Alright.
masks? Didn't we have a mask before the 3
Yeah, I
found
did.
in
I
the
had
bag?
Total of 4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, so I'll just in case they see me.
Or maybe we bring it with, because post-attack we don't even know if they would be wearing the masks around each other. We bring it with, if there seems to be, who are you, what's going on, we
Alright, so yeah.
looking for a safe place to hide.
Well, yeah, I still got my mask from before, so.
I think wearing the mask is safer. You know, if anyone.
No, yeah, like who's gonna
Was
wear the? You
recognized.
get in the hideout, you take your shit off.
Yeah, exactly. Especially post-attack, you don't know who's doing what, who's betraying, who's
I'll make up some
turning.
bullshit.
At least the robes, right? Or the hoods.
Well, I got my cloak of the manta ray is like a black hood. I don't need to breathe underwater, but I can still put my hood up. But I mean, man, if you guys are ready for it, I'll sneak up there and take a peek.
Let's do that first. Anyone's welcome to join him.
I would like to change my image to look like Kathis.
Okay. You do so.
Alright, I slink up the stairways.
And you're following? Mm-hmm. You guys are going up the stairways.
That's towards the hallway with the fire.
No. The platform that you're standing on has the hallway that had the firelight glow.
My bad. So yes, I go towards the firelight glow on our level.
Roscoe's going. Who else is going?
Downer.
Roscoe and Thalner? No?
I'm going to stay. They're going around. It's like around a bend.
They're going
So-
stealthily, I'm not.
Basically, like out of sight.
Watching
whatever they're seeing.
them
Yeah.
from behind. Okay.
I do that.
So then, I'm not going to have you roll stealth, but Roscoe and Thalner, please roll a stealth check.
Are we being stealthy?
Are you being stealthy or are you approaching?
I mean, yeah, that's
non-stealthy?
that was
We act like we live here.
tricking them was my fallback plan.
Okay.
Walk quietly.
Yeah, like
Okay.
if we need to use that card, yeah, but there's no.
I wanna
Or
give
if they don't even see us. Okay, fair
I want to
enough.
give a fallback to the fallback.
Another one? Wow.
Golden Dragon. That's
Golden
20.
Dragon.
Do you already have inspiration?
He does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're not doubling up on that.
Can I give it to someone?
Yes.
You're
Cool.
with me.
So you give Thalner your inspiration, and
Yeah.
you still maintain it because you rolled a nat 20. What would you?
21.
21. So the two of you more or less round this bend, and it continues sinking a little bit further down steps. This orange glow getting brighter and brighter and brighter. That hissing, sizzling pop starting to get nearly unbearable to your ears. And as you guys crest around the observable viewpoint of a now very humanoid made structure, a concurrent ring of platforms descending and descending and descending. Inside of it seems to be a burning statue of a dragon.
Sick.
A red dragon, to be succinct. It looks red because of the flame, but also with the horn-like structure of it, seems to be depicting a red dragon. It is nearly perpetually on fire. There's nothing on it that seems to be burning. No smoke, no vapor. And lying all around this statue in a ring are long, dehydrated, burned up corpses of humanoid figures, all wearing chromatic spiral masks.
That's not what I was expecting.
Is there like another hallway or an exit to this place that we can see?
You look around the room, and there are two different exits to this centralized chamber.
I gotta tap down. I'm like, let's go back. Yeah. I wanna go back and tell the group what's up, because that's kind of fucked.
Okay. So the two of you start walking back. And as you guys start walking back, I need you both to give me wisdom saving throws.
I'm gonna use my lucky's a long rest. I have 200.
It's in the middle of the night, to be fair.
It's probably about 2 a.m. right now.
You also have your inspiration. So.
Oh yeah. I was doing that. Which one? The inspiration doesn't.
Do you want me to give you inspiration? You can use mine.
Yeah, it's inspiration. Oh, it's double down. You banked an extra one over here, so.
I guess I'm gonna use an inspiration rather than lucky because there's a chance of me redoing it,
Yeah.
re-upping that. So I'll use an inspiration. That's a 1.
Hey!
We
don't
love
do those
those.
here.
Only if he does.
That's what I'm talking about. What was I doing? Wisdom save. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Talner?
Filthy.
16.
As the two of you look at this strange statue and begin walking away, Roscoe, mentally, you feel a pull, a desire to be closer to this statue. And you shake your head and you resist it, and you are about to start walking back, but then you see Thalner wide-eyed staring at it. And he takes half a step forward and you grab him on the shoulder. And Thalner, you shake out of it and you look back over at Roscoe.
Nah, fuck that.
you were almost compelled to join the throngs of people standing, or I say standing, lying dead or in a ring around the statue.
An ashen ring. That looks so warm and cozy.
Let's get out of here. Let's go. We're going.
And as the two of you quickly make your way back to the rest of the group, potentially conveying what you have seen here, we're going to go ahead and end session right there.
Creepy.
I'm so happy right now.
He doesn't even. He could pass the wisdom save and he'd still be headed towards it. It's a dragon.
Don't tell him there's a dragon.
It's not a dragon.
You smell like
It's dragon
rocks and berries.
Hand another grub to Zoogie and pet the little head.
You just hear a strange smacking sound above your head.
Dude, you may have lice. It might be fine.
Buffet in there.
So, with that being said, I really appreciate everybody that has been watching this episode and hanging out with us. I hope everybody here at the table had a good time.
Heck yeah.
And you will see us next Monday at 8 o'clock, live streaming exactly where we picked off here, or left off here. Is there anything that you guys would like to say to our viewers and listeners?
Dude, Sunspell dies with 2 nat 20s on the first
Yeah, I
night.
was about to
That's
say,
crazy, actually. Yeah,
I'm loving them.
hell yeah. Okay, well, with
I
that
love
being
you guys.
yeah.
Thank you.
With that being said, we love you guys very much, and we're going to see you next Monday, okay? Adios!